What's poppin' and welcome to Popcorn with Chol Sadyayan, your stop for all things pop, where we talk about all things pop culture from the Philippine Islands and the rest of the globe. And if you're new here, welcome. Thanks for listening. We haven't gone and released anything since the holidays. If you've been listening, welcome back and Happy New Year. Belated Merry Christmas. May belated Merry Christmas ba? And yeah, sorry for not having anything over the break. I hope you all enjoyed your holiday season, and we hope everyone is fine after the eruption that happened a few days ago.
Hopefully it doesn't get worse.
Yeah.
So before any other holiday cuentos, how konyo is that? Holiday cuentos. Let's welcome our co-hosts for today. So let's welcome back Emil.
Yay. Hello.
And Danny.
Hi.
And finally welcoming to the squad, Dren.
Yay!
So
Jesus.
it's his first
I've
time,
been trying to come here for a very long time.
but we're here now. So
Yes, finally.
hopefully tuloy-tuloy. And maraming tea manggagaling kay Dren. What do you do, Dren?
I am a writer for Star Cinema.
Ooh. Para tayong
There's a cute. Yeah.
Para tayong alien sa Toy Story. When Jen was like,
I know, it's like I'm like looking anywhere like else because I don't know, I'm scared I might say something terrible.
sa off-air na lang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Off air couldn't go, but you don't turn off anything.
Yeah, it's still recorded. So, kamusta yung holidays?
Okay. I'm sleepy like all the time. Like I just sleep all day. So yes, that means it's great. Yeah, been having
Yeah.
a great holidays.
Yeah. My body clock still hasn't recovered from the holiday break. So
That's
I still
true.
Yeah.
Wake up at like 9 and sleep at 4. So
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
5 hours isn't. It's not the worst, I guess. Question mark.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty
It's
good.
pretty good if you want to watch everything
Yeah.
you need to
Yeah,
watch
exactly.
before the thing
Exactly.
returns.
That's literally all I did during the holidays. I just caught up on everything because I was missing so much because of work. And there was a lot of really good. I felt like 2019 was such a dry year, and then I watched everything at the end, and I thought, oh no, there's a lot of really good
Yeah.
No,
stuff.
there's a lot of really good stuff. Like I'm making my list now, and it's like I have to push so many good movies off because
Yeah.
Ang
it's
dami.
only 25. I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep it 25.
And there's also, and besides the movies, I also I tried to listen to all like the podcasts and things, and of course there's like special
Oh,
episodes for
okay.
the end of the decade. So there's so
Which we weren't able to do here. I'm so
It's
sorry.
okay. No, it's
My family.
This is a young podcast.
The pop kernels, sorry.
Yeah, I mean the holidays kasi it's so hard to get everyone together.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially pag Pilipinas.
Yeah, there was like a whole week na I had a thing every day. I was
Yeah.
like,
Same.
I can't be able to record anything.
yeah, gets
And I was messaging Emil and Dren. And
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
And then wala din.
I was thinking in my head like my own top like 10 for each year, top 100 for the decade.
I didn't even do
so
it. I'm
difficult.
sorry.
I couldn't do top 100. Top 50 was a grind.
In 10
Yeah.
years na lang, let's just meet again in 10 years.
Oh my
Yeah. When this
When
podcast
yeah,
is
this
super
is number
popular.
one.
It's gonna be in
Let's make it
ABS.
happen.
Yeah.
In ABS.
Well,
I hope
if
we're
ABS
higher.
still exists.
Aim for
joke.
worldwide.
Oh, yeah.
I love I Want, so they're gonna be there.
Yay! Thanks. I love I Want.
So anyway, I mean, yeah, I had a good holiday break. I'm happy we had a break kasi nakamiss
my
yung
gosh,
student life. I was able to go to Shanghai,
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Disneyland. I completed my Disneylands, all Disneylands. around the world.
Congratulations
Oh my God.
on your
I have-
pilgrimage.
I have completed
such
my
a-
pilgrimage
How
of
many Disneylands
becoming a
are there?
slave, full-time
Five, I
slave.
think?
6.
Five. 6.
Oh my goodness. It's insane. Okay.
So yun, congrats? Question mark.
Congrats to you.
Congrats to me. I mean, I don't know why. Wala lang. It's a fun thing to experience. And
Jack Black, this is completely, it's somewhat related, but also completely unrelated. But Jack Black turned 50, and he promised himself that he would ride 50 rides at Disneyland for his birthday, and he made an entire YouTube video. About
how can you ride on one day in one
Yeah,
day?
in
Disneyland
one
with 50
day.
reds.
No, he spent like 2 days, 3
okay.
days there. So it was like he cheated, but you know,
Okay.
Jack Black, I know you're listening. So,
Very
shout out to your
surprisingly,
channel.
the Shanghai Disneyland isn't as bad as everyone like
Since it was, oh,
puts it out to
I didn't
be.
realize that people.
I mean, there's some like rude people who aren't like parang sobrang konti lang, and then there are like people who are selling bootleg merch
Oh.
inside the park.
Inside Disneyland?
Inside the
That
park.
sounds
That's
How can you
awesome.
tell? How can you tell it's
It looks terrible.
They had plastic
What
bags
if it-
and they were like selling it while you were walking out of the
That's
park.
great.
I see.
That's
And we're assuming it's the actual thing.
Then they're selling it.
They're just selling
Yeah.
it at a lower-ish
Yeah,
price.
That's what I was thinking. Like,
Respect.
what if it's just like
They
deformed
they
Mickey?
stole it from like the moving truck and like
Yeah.
we can sell this for less.
Or they're actually from the factory. Parang
Oh yeah,
ganun.
yeah.
So I
They
feel
know
like
a
it's
guy who
that,
knows a guy.
but the difference in price isn't that big
It
either.
doesn't matter.
And I didn't.
It's
I
just
only
like if the parent's child like is screaming on the way out and it's like, Mom, buy me
probably.
Yeah.
Pero
That's how they
maganda.
get you.
Their rides are like super high tech
Oh, wow.
compared to everywhere else.
Yeah.
Well, because it's the most recently constructed
Yeah,
one.
yeah, because
Yeah.
they take your personal data while you're riding on them.
What do
Yeah.
you mean?
They like scan the pictures. For
Actually,
the
my
log jam, they
picture
take
is
a-
on there.
Oh,
Like, when you enter and they scan your ticket, there's like a camera on there.
Dude, I'm telling you.
That's a scam. Like you know
They
when
own
you take a
me.
picture on roller coasters.
Oh, yeah,
that's what
yeah,
you're doing.
yeah.
You have like a barcode on your neck when you
Oh,
leave.
they own me anyway, so willingly. Joke lang. So ayun, it was fun. I enjoyed, but Shanghai is not like there's nothing much to do around the city, although it's nice. So
It's nice.
if you want to visit Shanghai,
Your Shanghai listeners are they're freaking
Lumpiang
out.
Shanghai na po.
my God.
Okay, so I guess that's it for some holiday chismis. If
Yeah.
wala naman masyadong
Wala
chismis
talaga.
dun.
Yeah.
Unless Dren wants to
MMFF.
spill anything right away.
MFF was really
Well, we'll get to that.
MMFF was
Yeah.
MMFF.
It was,
and
yeah.
we'll talk about
It
that
was very
in
MMF.
Yeah,
The
I'll
next-
let you guys have
in
fun.
part 2
Self-care.
of this. ano.
Yes,
Self-care.
So ayun, we're already in 2020. We're into a new decade, into the unknown? Question mark? No, we're not.
You have to
Not
sing.
nominated,
You
no?
can't just say that.
Ah,
You have to
gusto
sing
mo
it.
ba?
You have to
I
sing
sang it last time we were
Ah, pala.
together.
We
right?
attempted to sing it. Yeah.
Do it.
No.
It's your turn.
do it, folks. You with
No.
a stick. Do it.
No.
Okay, anyway, so but before that, we're gonna go and backtrack a bit into 2019 and just
Yep.
mention some of our favorite things from the year. So this is not a ranking. We're just gonna kind of just talk about some things
Yeah.
on our
Yeah,
list.
gotta save the rank list for my 3 reads.
Yeah, you can read their personal ranked lists on their personal
Yeah.
blogs.
Yeah.
Can you plug it now so they
Now?
Can, yeah, I
Okay.
can just plug
I don't-
and plug
Oh,
it again later.
okay, I'm not even
Before
done
people
yet.
stop listening.
Yeah.
I'm not even done yet, but my blog is emilreviewsthings.wordpress.com.
Well, I read on Medium. I don't have a URL, so just follow me at Denny Not Dini. I tweet a lot.
Same.
I don't have like a personal because it's just I tried but it was so difficult. But it's just follow me at Bredren _
Nice.
BREDREN.
The underscore.
And
really sells
I'm
it.
on Letterboxd. Most of my reviews are there lang.
Same.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so just look for me
Yeah.
on
Letterboxd
Letterboxd.
is really nice.
Letterboxd.
CC said Yaren. Nag-Letterboxd, ano yan, year in film ba kayo?
Oh yeah.
How was your year in film?
I
in
didn't-
general?
yeah.
I don't
I
use.
tried-
You haven't used in a while na,
I use
Emil,
it,
no?
I know.
I
Yeah.
tried to do Letterbox and then I realized I'd have to like log in like 1,000 movies that I'd already seen because
Yeah, no, I feel like I need to be a completionist. Like
Yeah.
I can't just like start logging in.
That's the
Say-
hard
Exactly.
part. That's
Yeah.
the hard part.
For me, I like sometimes I realize, oh, I have seen Scary Movie 3.
yeah, exactly. But I feel like if I did that, it would just be too much of a hassle.
That's what makes me sad, that knowing that there are some films I haven't logged, pero I've actually
Diba,
already
nakaka-
seen.
ano
And it's
siya?
really comprehensive.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna find like you find everything on it.
Yeah, just like local film also.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice, you know.
Yeah, so I mean, I watched more than I had a goal. I'm over my goal of 100. Actually, medyo maliit lang.
Nice.
Maliit lang ba yung 100?
I
I
know
don't
someone
think
who
so.
watches like 3 a day.
That's crazy. What does he do in his
Yeah, may
life? Or
trabaho ba
she?
siya?
His eyes are just like
No,
glazed over.
he's a film critic. Kasi.
Ah, okay.
He works in Toronto.
Wow.
Toronto.
Well,
Like you can just walk over to the TIFF cinema and watch
Yeah.
whatever. But like respect, you know. That's
Yeah.
dedication still.
No, that's the dream to get
That's the
paid to
dream.
do that.
that's true. Well, you already do-ish, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, back to 2020. I joke 2019 pala.
19, yes.
I just wanted to make a 2020, bro. Let's go to 2020.
I've
Well,
never been to 2020.
I have been to 2020.
Well, they went.
Nice.
They said let's go to 2020, but they ended up in black market,
Black market,
which is
'cause
like
it's right beside
okay.
each other, yeah.
Sige, pagbigyan na natin.
Same thing.
So, kung di nyo magets yun, I guess di nyo
Sorry.
magets
Go
yun.
to Paul
Go to
Bunyan's
Netflix
more
and go to 2020. Okay, so where do you want to start? So we have 3 categories.
Why don't you start us off? Trevor?
Yeah.
It's yours.
I guess let's go to TV.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll just start off with my. I'm super standing right now
Go
on
ahead.
Twitter, on Instagram. I'm super standing. Again, it's super predictable that it's me talking about this. It's High School Musical, the musical, the series on Disney Plus. I talked about it briefly before. It was really great. I really enjoyed. I didn't expect it to be as great and to be standing it this hard. But the kids are super talented.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, 16 lang yung lead girl, Olivia Rodrigo, and she's part Filipino. Hashtag Pinoy Pride.
The usual.
I mean,
she's 1/16th Filipino. Yeah.
pero it's nice lang knowing that High School Musical, the legacy of part
Yeah.
Filipinos.
That's true, yeah.
With Vanessa
Respect.
and now Olivia, and
Yeah.
she's
And I think
really great.
The original choreographer, I think, for High School Musical was also part Filipino. That's nice.
Was he? Who
Yeah.
was the original
I forget
choreographer?
his name, but
He
It's
did a
not
cameo
si
in
ano,
Phineas
si
and
Yeah,
I know his
exactly.
name. I should know this as a High School Musical.
Yeah.
Si Chucky Klapowski.
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
it's in my mind.
Wow.
Things I shouldn't random things.
Yeah.
Pero the choreographer now is like Zach Woodley, who choreographed Glee, one of the choreographers in Glee.
Okay.
And this is kind of like PG Glee with High School Musical infused with like The Office or Modern Family. So it's
Yeah.
all really like meta and really fun.
Yeah, it's
and
very self-aware.
have you seen it?
Yeah, a little bit. Not like the entire thing, but I just seen like clips and whatever I could catch because I don't have Disney Plus. And it looks really fun. That's what
It
I got out of
is.
it. It's just really fun. It's nonsense. It's not meant to be really deep or anything. It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, the title in itself, right? Like, it comes off as very meta and very parody. So,
Perhaps the best TV show title of 2019. I
Yeah.
would say. I haven't
Musical,
seen
the
it,
series,
but
the
like
musical.
perhaps the best
Musical, the
TV show.
musical.
Pero may mas mahaba pa eh. Yung soundtrack niya. It's High School Musical, the musical, the series, the soundtrack.
Volume 1.
eventually, it's going to be
Volume 1, exactly, because they've already been picked up for season 2.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's great. The original songs I really love. One of them was written by the actors pa. So it's just like amazing. I was blown away by the kids. And I can't believe I'm standing High School Musical like I was standing High School Musical again.
Yeah.
That's how
you
they
know,
get you.
It's
how they
me.
They time it.
That's
so
the
that-
plan.
That's nostalgia.
Okay, anyone
I
wants to
agree
go
with this
next with some other suggestions of their
Sure.
faves?
TV series?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
you go.
Oh, okay.
You're fuck.
Oh no!
Sorry.
Sorry to the Jesuits.
Sorry.
Well,
You could barely hear that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot. I know of more shows than I've seen, but like I guess in fitting with like a low key trend in 2019 is a lot of great women led shows. And then we lost Broad City, we lost You're the Worst, we lost
Veep.
Jane the Virgin, we
Veep.
lost Veep.
Tuca and Bertie.
Yeah, but like I'm gonna
so early on.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Tuca and Birdie. But I'm gonna chill for I think my favorite of those shows, my show of the decade. I'm gonna chill for
Wow,
Crazy
decade.
Ex-Girlfriend.
Mm.
Of course.
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, my show
yeah.
of the decade.
Yeah, if you see Denny's tweets, they're like super standing CXGF.
Yeah.
I mean, for good reason, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it ever got the audience it needed to, but this year I think it's the perfect ending for a show. I mean, if you want to see a show that ended well, like watch Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I think it's just if you like musicals, if you hate yourself, if you like musicals about hating yourself, and if you like pop culture a lot because like it's references everywhere. And if you have issues with Cats and Rent,
Hey,
you'll find humor in it.
Not your girl na say Emil.
No, I've
So-
heard.
not tolerate
Yeah,
cats.
I'll say something about cats later.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, like we all have. There's a space for cats.
We're heading there in our next episode,
Yeah.
which you should also listen to. So,
But yeah, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, great show. Please watch it. It's on Netflix.
kailangan may plug kung nasan siya nag-stream.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of series. I don't think as much as the other people here, but I
Emil.
try to watch what I can because I don't know, I don't have the attention span, so I tend to gravitate towards shows that last less than 30 minutes an episode, and that's why I started watching Fleabag because it was so
Yes.
it was so short, and not only are the episodes short, but the entire each series, the 2 series that it has are both 6 episodes,
Yeah.
which is insane. So I watched it. And I remember watching finishing the entire first series in one sitting because I couldn't stop watching it. I loved it so much. I was watching it at work, which I'm allowed to do.
It's research.
And I remember, like, literally the entire year, or not the entire year, but the latter half of 2019, I was just talking about how much I loved it to everyone that would listen. And I would talk about it to everyone that would listen at the office. And I'm proud to say so many of my office mates have not watched it because I repeatedly told them to watch it. And I'm also very proud to say that recently, Olivia Lamasan, the head of Star Cinema, asked me for a copy of Fleabag.
Yes, we know she just asked for copies.
And
Just
told me
kidding.
that she has seen it and that she loved it.
Wow,
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah, so that's
Star
why
is just gonna start putting out Fleabag ripoffs. Looking at the camera.
Yeah.
May Fleabag ano
I mean,
na.
that's not
Fleabag.
Fleabag lang.
but that's not from like looking at the camera. Anyway,
Watch Fleabag on iPhone.
so to talk a little bit about why I love it so much, it's just it's like a writer's dream, that show. That's how I describe it. It's really not heavy too much on PD. Although the everything else, the direction, everything, the acting, it's all great. But the writing,
Si
in
Butt
particular-
Guy, ano yung pangalan? Butt Guy. What's-
He's arsehole guy in
Yeah. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
yeah, okay.
I'm just saying butt guy
Yeah.
because
Yeah, that's fair.
we can't go too
We can't
far
go
in
too
talking
far.
about that.
Sorry.
On Jesuit grounds. Just kidding.
You just start burning. but but yeah, I agree that the writing of it is really what sells the show. I think because not anyone could.
And the hot
Phoebe
priest.
Waller-Bridge, yeah. I mean, Phoebe Waller-Bridge obviously played it perfectly because she wrote it for herself. But the fact that I think that now that I've read some of the scripts of it, because some of them have been released.
Are they being sold here?
No, I had to get mine delivered from a friend who was abroad.
Okay, so
But
that's how I'm
Yeah,
getting-
but just reading the script, you know it's funny, and it's so rare that you read a script and you know it's funny. Like I was laughing out loud reading the script. That's how good it was. So yeah, that's why Fleabag for me is my show of the decade.
Wow,
Ah, also.
it's great.
It's on like I'd put it up there. Like
Yeah.
like you know how like fitting analogy because it's very much about Christianity. Like after watching Fleabag, I kind of understood what it meant to want to spread the word about something.
Yeah, actually.
There was before Fleabag and like after Fleabag.
And interestingly, the
promo.
marketing for season
marketing
2
was
was
very
like
Jesus-y.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
And, like,
the hot
it's deserved,
priest.
of course. It's not even like just window dressing. It was absolutely deserved. Like I think it's if anyone with a passing interest in how theology and religion works in the market,
Yeah.
I think Fleabag is key.
Ang galing nung ano niya.
Yeah.
Like yung may nahuhulog na
Yung
I read,
Yeah,
I read
oh my
the
God.
news
It's
scene and I was
so
like,
good.
wow, this is so well written.
It's so good. Yeah.
and how can something so short parang
Be
its
that
lifespan
impactful. Yeah, basically.
affect so many
It's
people
like
in
one feature film.
It's
The
like
entire
4
combined
hours. The
together.
whole thing is just 4
it's
hours.
4 hours.
and the haircut scene was
Oh,
really great.
Yeah.
the episode with Kristen Scott Thomas and then where Fleabag drops the trophy. That's like one of the funniest concentrated 20 minutes of
The,
television.
the haircut scene
Was
made
amazing.
me laugh so spontaneously that I spewed like crumbs all over my laptop. It was
Yeah.
great.
It's just it's
Her
the
face,
perfect
dude.
cut.
Yeah.
Her face when it cuts to Fleabag.
Tapos may ano
I
pa
look
siya,
like a-
may peg pa siya.
Like a pencil.
It's the way she's
so
Sean Clifford. I love it.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would also say Fleabag is like my favorite show of 2019. You mentioned Broad City, and I'm happy that you did because I love Broad City. For those who don't know, it's really just two friends. It's really just
They were the
about,
ones who
Yeah, Abby-
very joke lang.
Wait, what?
They were the ones who very never mind.
Okay.
Di na gets
Anyway,
yung
sorry,
reference.
I
My
didn't-
family, the whole speech.
Ay, sorry.
They were
Sorry
was the
po.
ones pala. They
Sorry
was
po.
the ones.
But yeah, no, that's just like Broad City is just like the best sort of millennial hanging out getting stoned show from like the last few
so
years.
it's like Friends but millennial.
Oh, it's
Is
really
that
just
what you're
like
saying?
it's two women. Yeah.
Zendaya's on?
Which one?
The one with the shirt.
Euphoria?
Yeah.
Oh no, this is like,
that- or
no, this is
it's
like
really,
not
dumb.
depressing. This
Yes.
is
Okay.
like really
When
funny.
I said it,
Yeah.
I thought girls.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Pero sila yung
suppose.
nagpasikat ng Yas Queen, diba?
Yes,
Yeah. Oh,
that
that's
was
cool.
them.
Yeah.
And the show is really just focused on like these two women and their friendship. So I would say that Broad City and Fleabag are like my favorite comedies of last year. For dramas,
That was they ended on season 5.
Yeah. Then for dramas naman, although like we were talking about a while ago, I'm not as big a fan of Succession as like the biggest Succession fans are. I would still say that that's like really way up there because it's just it sort of carries the torch for me from Veep, where it's it's a sort of like a political satire kind of thing.
But it's like entertainment business kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
they're like a giant media conglomerate.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
and it's just about how awful the family members are to each other, but it's really funny. And then the one show that I feel like kind of flew under the radar that I would champion a lot is this animated show called Primal, which is from the guy who
I've heard
made
about it.
Samurai Jack.
Where is this
And
streaming?
That's why I've heard about it.
Well, it's streamed on Adult Swim for like 5 days lang. And it's just 5 episodes for now. And it's an animated series that has no dialogue. It's just about a caveman and a T-Rex trying to survive like the wilderness, and it's extremely violent. Like it's so much more violent than I thought it was gonna be. But somehow, Sigendi Tartakovsky, the guy who made it, manages to put in like character pa and like just like it, like you can tell that there's a narrative even if there's no dialogue. And when you meet like different prehistoric creatures in the show or whatever, you understand sort of like the rituals that they have and like how things work in that prehistoric land. So it's really, really interesting, and it's not for kids at all. So yes.
Well, I don't think
it's cool
kids
that-
listen to
yeah.
this.
It's cool that
That's why
the
it's
creator
Adult
has
Swim.
like it's like the creator has like
We're not in
because
kiddie
even
pool.
Samurai Jack like he has like this thing about time and no dialogue because Samurai Jack is
Yeah,
very-
yeah,
Did Samurai Jack
Silent.
come back na?
No, it ended.
ended, yeah,
it
it
ended
ended.
like a couple years ago.
And I
No,
was so
isn't
happy.
it being revived for
I
a
hope
short? I think there's a short
No,
revival or
stop
something.
reviving shows.
No, it's okay.
keep
They
reviving
can
shows.
stop.
As long as
High
you do
School
it well,
Musical
just do
holds
it-
your
just
tea.
do it
Oh my
well.
god. But yeah, so those are the ones I would mention. I have so many more, but
Ang
like,
dami.
it's okay.
Go. Just
No,
mention
no,
it
I'm
briefly without
Oh, it
like
would be-
expounding
would-
on it.
We'd be
So,
here all day.
one last.
Yes,
one last
okay.
is like
without not like super expounding.
yeah, no, I didn't make my year-end lists until because I wanted to finish this show called The Expanse, which a lot of people have been hyping up as like the best sci-fi show on TV. Which I would.
Which
now-
is where
it recently moved kasi from Sci-Fi. It was cancelled on Sci-Fi and moved to Amazon. So now that they have the Jeff Bezos money, like it looks so good now, and it
even
feel-
better than the
yeah,
first.
and it feels like a Denis Villeneuve movie now. So I just think it's very sophisticated and doesn't depend on twists like Black Mirror and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
solid.
Yep, great.
And you were talking about this one animated thing on Amazon also on Twitter, right?
Going Undone,
Yun ba yung parang I don't know,
rotoscope siya.
the one
my
where
goodness.
she meets her dad?
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah. I mean,
What's
I'm
what's
not
the name of that? one?
Undone. It's called Undone.
Ah, okay.
I'm not like I wouldn't put that in my list either,
Of
but it's
2019.
very interesting because yun nga, the animation style is rotoscoped and it looks
Yeah.
gorgeous talaga.
Rotoscope is insane.
yeah.
Like as a style, I think that would be up there for me with like stop motion,
Yeah.
like difficulty.
And
So
and it's one of those. It's very much along. For me, I find it to be along the lines of something like BoJack, where it's very much about mental health
Yeah.
and her just sort of trying to deal with the grief of losing her dad, but with like time travel powers. And it's weird. Like the ending is so ambiguous. No
Yeah.
spoilers, but yeah.
yeah.
So
the first half of season 5 of BoJack, the final season came out. Also
Season six, season
Season
It came out and I remember waiting for
I can't
it for
believe
such a
it's
long time.
ending.
And it was so strange because for me it was like
Netflix.
nobody was talking about it. Unless like you
Weird
were a
nga.
fan, yeah.
Yeah.
But it felt like
yeah, I
Netflix
think-
wasn't really promoting it, which I found really strange.
Maybe they're gonna go all out for the last
maybe
half.
also because
the cliffhangers and
Also because it didn't end super well. Like no, I meant like
The first half.
No, I meant no. I mean, I
Season
love
5.
the ending of season 6. I think I meant like the working relationship with Netflix.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Wasn't
Oh.
the best.
Yeah.
Like
I heard a little bit about that too,
Yeah.
but
It was more Netflix than creator
Yeah.
decision.
and that's what scared me also because I was worried that the quality would suffer. But season 6 was
yeah,
great.
season 6
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like-
really funny.
Yeah,
And-
surprisingly, it's
Yeah,
very.
and I think the way they closed it is was one of the strongest episodes.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
really
just so
loved it.
scared.
I'm so terrified of how they're going to choose to end it because it's they.
You could go so many ways.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a fan of BoJack, this isn't really a spoiler, but even like this, the tone of the show is very. It always undercuts whatever like
You
happy,
think,
whatever
yeah.
happy ending you think happens. So I'm terrified because if the entire series it just gets undercut with this like. A depressive, not the one depressing, but just like a harsh reality kind of tone. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it because I usually like things that have just a little bit of hope, you know. Not it doesn't have to be like
Yeah.
We'll
And
have
it-
to
and
wait and see.
And I think for like majority of the BoJack fan base who relate to the characters in terms of
Yeah.
their weaknesses,
Yeah.
I feel like it would be better to end it on a high note. It's just
Yeah.
more useful for the viewers.
Sana.
Yeah.
We'll have to see on January 31st, 25th.
Yeah, it's like the
25.
Yeah,
January 25, 3 p.m.
25th.
Oh
Yeah,
God!
something like that.
Don't go to work, guys. Just
Saturday.
stay.
It's
Wait,
Saturday.
really?
It's a Saturday.
Oh, I thought they aired things here on
Fridays
Yeah, weird.
usually.
I heard 25. I think.
25 should be a
25 is
Friday. If 30, I joke lang.
25.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure.
I
it
can
out.
just look at my calendar.
Exactly.
It'll come out when it comes out.
So we'll have to
25.
see. I really liked how they went with
25
Mr.
is
Peanut Butter in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, finally.
That was my favorite episode from the half season. It's
Yeah.
just the
So
slapstick
good,
stuff
yeah.
in the house.
And I always love animation that treats whatever frame they're using like a camera. And I always feel like that ends up being better because instead of, I mean, obviously you want to take advantage of the fact that you can do so many things in animation that you can't do in live action. But if you like anchor your show thinking that the frame that you're animating on is a camera and everything just ends up feeling much more real. And I think that's why that episode, the Mr. Peanut Butter and his girlfriend or fiance, sorry, that episode stands out to me so much is because it's not just like the usual thing that carries BoJack is the characters and the dialogue. The direction really stands out for me in that episode, and the fact that the camera movements, the quote-unquote camera movements, feel so kinetic to me. That also makes it a lot more fun, especially in the context of what is happening in the
Yeah.
episode. So
And what's nice is that they've really, parang in the later seasons, they really expanded the
Yeah.
growth of each character aside from BoJack
Yeah.
as compared to
Yeah.
the first na
Like I feel like Todd actually has stuff to do now.
yeah, oh my god, finally.
Parang di lang
They
siya
make a joke-
sidekick.
Yeah, they make a joke about that.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, BoJack. What else? I'm going back to Disney Plus.
Of course.
I love The Mandalorian.
Mando and Baby.
Well, of course, Baby Yoda.
Who's not
Honestly,
true,
I didn't
yeah.
expect it to. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did again. Because I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not super into like Mandalorians when Boba Fett isn't even a Mandalorian.
Yeah, exactly.
Diba? So parang I was parang Western pa siya and all that. But then when I watched it, it was really great. I was really
Yeah.
waiting for it every week.
I haven't finished it yet.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say anything, but Baby Yoda, that's it. Pero ang ganda, I mean,
Yeah.
compared to Tross, obviously, the Mandalorian
Yeah.
took the right direction
Oh yeah,
into
it's really
expanding
fun.
the world.
Yeah, it's really fun, Mandalorian.
But I guess they had more freedom than the sequel
Skywalker,
trilogy,
yeah.
for sure, to
Yeah.
like have creative decisions and
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. So,
I mean, I'd like to talk about the new trilogy. I'm not sure. I think they all have names, the three trilogies, but I think this one's just called the sequel trilogy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd like to talk about that a lot more later. But Mandalorian for me is a good example of a show that's very harmless in a lot of ways, because I feel like they had a lot of fun with the things that not necessarily that people didn't care about, but they had a lot of fun with elements from the universe that they knew that. Gosh, how do I put this? That they couldn't possibly mess up. If
Yeah,
that makes
yeah,
sense. It's like they
Oh,
could have
yeah,
done
yeah, yeah.
anything with like bounty hunters and anything.
Yeah.
And people have been asking for a Boba Fett spin-off for the longest time. So it was one of those things like, oh, okay, finally they're gonna do it. Let's just see how well they do it. And like you said,
They
they
really
went above and beyond.
they delivered
Yeah.
talaga.
I just know that Giancarlo Esposito is in it, so that makes me happy. So,
And
as a
Baby
Breaking
Yoda.
Bad fan.
And Baby Yoda.
Sedaris.
Wait, she's in
it.
she's in The Mandalorian?
She is.
Oh, cool.
Surprise.
Interesting.
No,
And
now you
like
have to watch it.
Taika
Princess Caroline is
Taika-
there.
Yeah, such a weird cast and crew. I mean,
It's
I'll
just
get
mga
to it.
friends to John Favreau.
Yeah,
Pretty
fair.
much.
So exciting to see how else the Star Wars series will go. There's a lot of Star Wars series coming soon.
And for the-
Kenobi
yeah.
and
Oh my God,
they
finally got
Cassian
Ewan
on
McGregor.
Andor.
Yeah.
What else? There's a rumored Darth Maul show
Yeah.
now.
Because of the end of Rogue One, right?
No, Solo.
Solo.
Oh, Solo. Yeah, sorry, I completely. That movie just is not.
Pero
in my
baka
mind.
tied in din siya to Clone Wars,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
final
yeah.
season.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know. But he also appears in
I'm-
Rebels, diba?
Yes.
Yeah,
he
that's
does.
what I was
He appears in
thinking of.
Rebels and Clone. Oh my God! All of the
Everyone's just alive, period.
canon shows. I mean, for the canon fans out there, Mandalorian doesn't mess with the canon, thankfully. I mean, they don't try to like. I mean, they get stuff from the canon, but they don't try to change anything. So now hearing what you said, that it's related to the end of, Attack of the Clones and everything. That's what my main fear for Mandalorian was that like they would mess with the canon and everyone would just get angry again because I'm a big fan of the canon, so yeah, God, I just hope they don't mess up Darth Maul. So we'll see.
It's more becoming more. Never mind. I won't say the spoiler because Dren hasn't finished it. So yun na yun. Okay. Tapos na tayo sa Mandalorian. Just last honorable mentions or just like wanna mention?
I'm just gonna say names.
Go.
Schitt's Creek, Russian Doll, Unbelievable, Pen 15, Righteous Gemstones, and I can't believe no one said this, Watchmen.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
That's an honorable mention for me. Wait, have you seen it? Oh, okay.
So
it's great, guys.
Only Emil has seen it.
I'm just
Read his
assuming,
tweets.
I'm just assuming it's leftovers with superheroes. So.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
I'll have to see for myself.
Also, like I guess the one that I'd mention is that a show that I nobody watches except for me and like 3 other people I know is Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot ended its 4th season and it ended so well. Like it's one of my favorite finales like ever.
Is it like the series finale?
Series finale, yeah. And it was so good. But yeah. So yes.
So that's
why I wear hoodies. Joke lang.
Just because I feel bad that I don't have any of these cool honorable mentions. But I'm not sure if this like I think the show was renewed for 2019. I'm so sad that I stopped following it. But there's a show starring Jim Carrey called Kidding. And I caught and I caught the first few episodes.
Sancha.
I think it's
Showtime.
Yeah, I think it's Showtime. I think it's Showtime.
it's somewhere.
And I watched like the first few seasons of it, and it feels like the tone of it and the theme of it feels like a live action BoJack Horseman. It's really fun, and the character that Jim Carrey plays is based on what do you call this? Oh gosh, the guy in The Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Mr.
Rogers?
Mr. Rogers is based on him.
Okay.
And it's fantastic. I loved it. So
Sige. More recommendations to watch this 2020. 2020.
So many shows.
I just want to say Chernobyl. We had a small episode for it, so go listen to everything we have to say about
and
that.
There's a podcast.
The making of Chernobyl.
Yeah, the making of Chernobyl.
Besides by HBO also.
Yeah.
Ganda rin.
And I think the writer, and I think the writer of Chernobyl also has a regular podcast.
Oh, see
Yes,
Craig.
Is it Script Notes? I think I'm not sure.
Craig Mazin.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Another thing, Forky asks a question. It's on Disney Plus also. It's a series of shorts with Forky, which are just super dumb but super fun.
Okay.
May isang episode with Betty White and other
who does she
legendary. Parang basta it's a pun for Betty White.
Okay.
So it's just really fun to watch if you really enjoyed watching Forky on Toy Story 4. The Witcher was fun. I have no idea. I have no background with The Witcher game and books, but I enjoyed Toss a Coin to your Witcher.
That's literally the only thing I know about that show is that song.
And the action sequences are great.
And Yennefer was great. Like I didn't know that it was the same actress who played her. I was like, what? Galing, ang ganda din niya.
Yeah.
The You season 2 just finished earlier for trash like me. I mean, it's
I've heard, but
it's way better than season 1.
Victoria Pedretti is in it, and I love her from Hill
You mean
House.
Hilary Duff?
Hey, she's like younger than me.
She's so what?
Yeah, Victoria Pedretti is like 24.
Yeah,
or
she's
something.
24.
She's our age pala. Pero ang ganda. I was like, I didn't expect it to end the way it ended.
Yeah,
but
I heard
wow,
it's very good.
Really good. Parang the last half of the season parang plays with some genre-ish.
Okay.
Aside from the psycho serial killer
thriller,
thing, parang may an experiment din siya a bit, which was really fun. And I love true crime. I mean, I don't love. Again, we don't love the crime.
Do I have to be nervous about sitting next to you?
So
We just like the true, not the crime. And lastly, I just want to say Meryl Streep's Scream in Big Little Lies season 2. That was like I was so shocked.
The only notable thing people are pointing out about Big Little Lies season 2 is that Scream.
Ang galing talaga. Okay, so that's it for our TV segment of 2019, I
Lots
guess.
of good TV. Yeah, lots of good TV. I was like, I'm sure I can think of like 3 more we didn't mention because there's nothing to watch.
Well, you can say that after we go
I will not.
this
I will not.
short break. We'll be right back. we're back here in Popcorn, your stop for all things pop. And this is our best of 2019 during 2020 episode. We just talked about our favorite TV shows from the past year. I think Jiren and Denny want to say something.
No, just
Si
Well,
Jiren
just quickly,
pala.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Barry, which I think not a lot of people have heard about, but it's my favorite show of all time. It's only 2 seasons in. It stars Bill Hader as a hitman who wants to become an actor. That's all I'll say about it.
Okay, so abangan, papanoorin ko yan. I just got like a HBO something, like access to HBO stuff.
Yeah. Whatever it's
So
called.
now I can watch Barry,
Game of Thrones
Watchmen,
again.
Euphoria, no. ang dami papanoorin.
No, thank
I haven't even seen Westworld ever, so I don't know. Well, that's for another day.
neither here nor there.
Looking
So
forward to
now
season 3.
we're gonna have a shorter segment than the TV. We're gonna be talking about our favorite music
God.
or songs and albums from the past year.
Not my strength.
I guess it's not a lot. I mean, I work
Not any
in
of our
music, so I
Yeah.
guess yun na yung pinaka ano ko. But I'm just gonna mention some of my favorites,
Ooh.
which I kind of mentioned na in our mini episode, the Spotify Wrapped 2019. So you'll hear more about my music recos from there. I guess we should talk about Dedicated by Cardi B. We all went to church that day.
Yes.
So October 23rd, tama? 26th, 23rd, 26th.
We're terrible.
We say it's our one of the best days of 2019, but we don't know the day. Pero it was really great. Dedicated. Go ahead, guys. What can you say?
I've never been happier in my life.
And it never will be again.
No, but it was just so
Like legit for the entire week after that concert, I was just so much more positive as
Oh,
like
yeah.
a person, and I was so happy to see everybody. I saw like literally 50 people I knew at that
Yeah, it
concert.
was
true.
That's the first time it ever
Crossing the
happened.
road outside the
Yeah.
Kia Theater.
Jumping inside the
Oh, yeah.
I was lined up to go in, and then I was just like high five.
Yeah, exactly.
Again in line.
Grabe. It was,
And
it
I was
great.
like literally like bear hugs after the show because
Yeah,
everyone was just
yeah.
so happy.
And Twitter was still talking about it for like how many days?
And-
even like a week or 2 weeks after.
Oh yeah.
And, like-
until now I talk about it.
the reaction I think really wouldn't have been like that if it wasn't Carly Rae, because her music is just so positive.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like fine, even if it's sad, like sort
Yeah.
of the way it's processed is positive. Like the fandom is so wholesome.
Yeah.
So
And proud moment. I was my like super minuscule self appeared on her Instagram.
I refuse to believe that that's
that
you.
was me.
I
That was me.
refuse.
I know.
can barely.
I saw my friends beside me, so that's me.
Sure.
So go to my Twitter and check that out. See kung ako ba talaga yun. Pero I really believe it's me.
okay.
Because I know where I was.
Okay.
Because I know where I was. So aside, dedicated great album. We've been talking about it parang on and off then the whole year. Of course, Lover. We have a whole episode about Lover, Taylor Swift. SB19's been a big thing last year. Their songs are really catchy also. Go Up, saka yung bago Alab. Really great. Ang galing din nila. What else? I liked On a Roll by Ashley O from Black Mirror.
Oh.
It's a really one of the greatest things
Miley
to come
Cyrus.
out of season
Miley Cyrus,
5.
basically, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Season
much.
5.
Yeah,
I've
you're
heard,
not
like,
missing
yeah, I've
much.
heard
But
on
On
and
a
off
Roll,
things.
listen to that song.
I just
Really
watched
fun.
like a couple of them and I was like, I feel like I'm over Black Mirror.
I saw 15 Minute Marriage, which was good, and then I saw Entire History, and then just clocked out.
Oh man, I like Entire History.
It's like, this
I like
bummed
season
me out.
1.
I'm not watching it anymore.
Ano pa ba? Ang dami ko nilistang songs. I
Yeah.
got into K-pop last year
Ooh,
more than
congrats,
any other year.
congrats.
Same.
I'm so basic, but Boy With Love is such a
Oh,
bop.
Dude, okay, hold on.
Si Emil pa pala yun.
I will defend this song, like, cause I don't listen to K-pop a lot, and people have tried to get me into it over the years, and it's really just not my thing. Like, respect talaga to them, but it's
Yeah.
really just not my thing.
It's a whole different world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but someone sent me the music video of The Boy With Love once. And I've not stopped listening to that song. It's so good.
Yeah.
And trying to do the dancing. So.
Oh yeah, it's unreal.
To the point that BTS was one of my top artists on Spotify
Wow, really?
last year.
Wow, that's
Just for the one song?
I guess.
Wow.
Probably, yeah.
It's part of my top 5
That's crazy.
of the year.
Wow.
I listened to it that
Workout
much.
song.
Yeah.
But I Kill This Love,
Oh, Black.
Blackpink is, they kind of died down for the
Yeah, because
latter
they
part of the
became
year because
inactive. Wow.
they did become
They
inactive.
became inactive, yeah. And there's been like
So-
controversy because like I think Jisoo's like been doing a lot of solo stuff and they just don't seem as happy in a lot of their stuff. I'm so invested.
Are you a Blink ba?
No, I'm really basic also, but
Careful.
like, the people that I do.
Baka may magalit.
Ang dami
No
na
matter what side you take.
No. I mean the people that I know. I repeatedly tell them like I'm just basic. I like Blackpink. I like Twice. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
Twice. I love BTS.
You make me feel special.
And obviously, because I work at ABS-CBN, I love Momoland.
Obligatory plug from there.
No, but I
Are
genuinely
you working on a
do-
film for Momoland?
No, but they're doing a series
With James Reid.
Nancy from Momoland, who's
Oh.
kind of. I think she's like the
leader.
I'm not sure if she's the leader, but
She's the
from
most
what I know.
popular in the Philippines, I think, si
so, yeah.
Nancy.
And so she's doing a
Like in the video daw of what's that second song after
Bam.
Yeah, sa
Yeah.
BAM, she was the one holding the Philippine flag. So I
Oh,
guess
okay.
she's the Philippine fave.
Okay,
si
yeah,
Nancy.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Hashtag Pinoy
And
Pride.
she's also one of the members who speaks fluent English, which is why I think she's
It
doing
makes
movies
sense.
with James. Yeah, so I don't and like just generally I feel like K-pop it's such a big part of the lives of my friends that I felt like I had to know a little bit
Yeah,
about it.
that's so true.
Yeah, so I have a friend.
Shout out to Joyce.
I have a friend named Angel. Angel, yeah.
Hey,
Shout out to
Angel.
Si Angel ba? K-pop
Oh
stan?
my,
Oh my God.
Parang I don't see
literally
his posts.
Literally,
Parang I don't see
No,
his
he's not
posts
vocal about it.
Oh,
literally
okay.
since like before anyone I knew, Angel was a fan of K-pop. He's like the OG. Like
As in high school.
he was a fan of K-pop. So
Super Junior.
yeah, so I remember we were going to this trivia night in Makati, and I told Angel you can play whatever you want, and he was like, "Can I play K-pop?" And he literally had like he catered songs that I could listen to, and yeah, from there I just started listening to just the basic songs.
It's just really great.
Yeah,
People
it's
should
fun.
get into it more.
It's fun,
And people should be
yeah.
more vocal about their love for it because it's, why stop yourselves?
Yeah,
and why be
and then
ashamed?
add
Exactly.
a fan cam to every tweet.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, ang dami nag-request ka lang daw yung K-pop episode ng Popcorn.
Hey.
K-Popcorn, I don't know.
Wow, yeah.
K-popcorn. It
Yeah.
writes itself.
They should have, that's the spin-off podcast na.
Yeah.
They just talk about
Naka,
it.
naka-wig ka na.
But I have to say that the most
Naka-perm na yung buhok ko. Tapos, si Dren
Yeah.
had K-pop hairstyles.
Yeah, I did have K-pop
for-
hair. And a lot of people, when I went to Europe that year, a lot of
Nagpapapicture
people
sa'yo.
said, "Are you from Korea?"
Wow.
Are you from Korea? So I was like, "No, I'm not, but thank you very much."
But you could really pull it off. That's what I'm gonna say. Like more than a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you. But I just a quick shout out. My favorite like K-pop song, which I think is, I played it probably like 100 times just in this year alone, 2020. Is "Fancy" by Twice.
In
It's
2020?
so fun. Yeah, just in 20, like 100 times already.
In
It's
15
so
days.
fun.
So do you know the choreo na rin?
Oh my gosh! Like I wouldn't be able to dance it, but in my head I can see the music video already. So I love.
Parang mas
Yeah.
nagustuhan ko yung Feel Special than
Oh yeah,
Fancy.
that's okay. Yeah, feel special, and I think Twice is probably the group that I got most into. Like I read the most about them, and I've looked into their discography the most. So yeah,
Ako
shout out to-
super mixed lang kasi. I just really like listening to everything. What else have I listened to sa K-pop? NCT has good music
NCT.
also.
Is that NCT
Highway to Heaven, 127.
127. Yeah.
But it's a whole thing. Like they have 3-4 subgroups
it's
and all
insane.
that.
Yeah.
So maraming music. May Wavy din, which is their Chinese, their Mandarin subgroup and all that. Red Velvet is also a fave.
Yeah, Red Velvet.
Psycho was good. End
Psycho.
of the year, December. Tama ba? December yun
Yeah, I think it was in
lumabas?
December, but I'm not sure. Don't murder us.
Okay.
Wait,
I
can,
mean-
can I just say that I still don't really know like a lot of the groups and a lot of the members, but every once in a while I find myself just hoping that J-Hope is having a good day. Because
Chicken noodle soup
Because
was
he's so
good
because
last
he
year.
looks so happy and positive,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I like him. So yeah. Anyway, yun lang.
BTS Bangtan.
Yeah.
Tama ba Bangtan?
Bangtangs, yeah. I think so. Oh my god, don't kill
Don't fight us, armies.
Please
We're-
inform us actually, like comment
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Let us know
Please.
in the comments.
Call
down
in
below.
at 426.
Call
Call
in at
me, yeah. Just gives my number.
Call me at 02. May 8 na ngayon.
Send swag at Cholo's house at number 4.
Malapit na.
Address,
Okay.
okay.
So what else? I really like Never Really Over by Katy Perry. Just
Yeah,
it was a
like
good comeback.
Return the form to her. For,
Like
Sorry.
when you talk about music and comebacks, parang they don't really market as comebacks in the States like as they do in K-pop.
Yeah.
But this is a really good comeback
no,
for
I thought
her.
it was great. It was
Back
fun.
to form
Yeah.
for Katy because of everything
It's like
she
the best things
experienced.
she had done since like California. That
Yeah, Teenage Dream era. That's true. Of course, the national summer anthem last year, Señorita.
I thought you were gonna say Old Town Road.
I thought Old Town.
That was
Yeah.
more American
Yeah,
than
true,
Philippines. And Señorita was the number one song of the year with
Wow.
1 billion streams.
Oh,
Number
my
2 was
goodness.
Bad Guy, which I also really love.
Yeah,
They were
I really
mentioning
love
Bald
Bad
Guy
Guy.
kanina.
Yeah, so no, that's just Seth Everman making. Just a fun fact: he has the most liked comment on YouTube, and it's him commenting on Billie Eilish's video. Just I'm the bald guy, and it has 1 million likes for some reason. Yeah, and Billie Eilish is really cool. Like as a person, she's really chill.
Galing niya.
Yeah, and she just makes music
Like
with
these
her,
Gen Z kids
her-
are just
I
like
think like half brother, step brother. I'm not sure, but
Phineas.
and you should listen to Phineas's stuff. To his solo stuff is really really good. So yeah,
the geniuses of the next generation. I forgot to mention pala sa K-pop, Super M is also really good.
I
Dropping.
haven't heard of that, yeah.
Go
Oh,
listen.
That's their song.
Yeah, Super M. The whole album is pretty good. Super M is the Avengers of K-pop
Oh.
because it's 3 different members from 3 different groups: EXO, SHINee, and NCT coming together into one Avengers.
Are they still
supergroup.
part of the original groups, or did they like?
They are, so
Okay,
that's
cool.
even crazier.
Yeah.
Like, how could you do that? I mean, it only happens in Marvel Comics
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
You're part of the new Avengers and part of the whatever.
New 52, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And now they did it in K-pop.
Yeah.
Nobody else can do it. Okay, ano pa ba? Motivation by Normani is also really good.
I haven't heard.
A lot of Lizzo stuff.
Oh,
Pero
yeah.
did,
So happy.
did it come out 2019? It was
it
older
didn't.
pa
She
eh.
released an album.
2018 yata,
Yeah.
late
She released an
2018.
album this year called Because I Love You.
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
a great song also. But because of that song, her name started popping up more.
Yeah.
And then Juice just exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lizzo, great. Ikaw at Ako by Moira, of course.
Yeah.
Shanty though. Ben and Ben. I know.
Oh my goodness.
Alam talaga. Ano pa? Pagtingin by Ben and Ben.
Yeah.
It was on loop for like even before the movie
Yeah.
LSS came out.
LSS, yeah. Like Globe
Pagtingin.
Studios, not Star Cinema, but yeah.
Oy, Globe Studios.
We did do a movie
Ay,
this year called last year called Excess Baggage, which had a Ben and Ben song. So, yeah.
Ano pa? I'm just gonna promote one of my artists, Paulo Sandejas. He has a song called Sway. I really love that song.
Before we
him.
move away from OPM, there was December Avenue also had a big year.
What's their newest song last year?
Oh my goodness! But
I mean, nag-revive lang
literally their
kasi
entire
yung December
soundtrack,
ay
yeah.
yung
Dahan-dahan and like they're just. I feel like movies. There were so many movies that used so many of their songs.
Yeah.
I couldn't get any of their.
Kung di rin lang ikaw,
Yeah,
syempre. But that was 2018 pa eh.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was already popular
I see.
like later last.
Yeah, I
2
only
years
found out because
ago.
of the movies that it was.
Yun nga, it became even more popular after Hello, Love, Goodbye.
Yeah. Which
Okay.
was the blockbuster of last year.
Kailan lumabas yung Tala?
Tala was 15,
Oh,
16.
it
2014.
only,
It
but it
was
only
very-
became
yeah.
like huge now?
Thanks to
Thanks to a drag queen, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
sa Obar.
Oh, okay,
Amazing,
cool.
yeah. Like
And
I think
then-
a drag queen
That's
did
great.
it as a performance, and then it blew up on social media, and then all the LGBT community they started picking it up.
No, the LGBT community already stand
Oh yeah,
Tala
sorry.
even
Yeah,
before.
sorry. And
So-
yes, so at every I don't know about you guys, but at my company Christmas party, there was a section when literally everyone just stopped and started dancing Tala, and it's not even our song. It's not like a Star Magic.
It's gonna unite the Philippines.
It did. And now
it's a
they're
great song.
conspiring that it led to Taal.
Oh my god.
And did you see that TikTok? There was a TikTok of some guy dancing Tala in
Yes.
front of the Taal exploding. That was like,
And I was
okay.
like, wow. I don't know. I feel like it's always like a double-edged. This is kind of like more like social commentary, but like
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes we take jokes like way too far, and we should just
Yeah, Twitter in general
Yeah,
is too
Jesus.
much.
Like literally minutes after the news started, the Tal was exploding. There were memes about it, which is insane to me.
Grabe. And yeah, I mean the Ateneo trade thing then also
Yeah,
went
guilty.
too far.
Guilty. That's me.
Sorry.
Not guilty because I did the math. I was a math major. I was like, wait. Yeah.
I could have done the math, but I didn't know the prices.
Yeah, for those who don't know, I was asking Dren nung high school pa. I was like, Dren, please tutor me in math because he's that good. So
Thank you.
I
Not
believe you.
anymore. No, obviously not anymore.
I believe you, Dren. Yung time na asset ay na tayo magka-college entrance
Yeah,
test.
yeah, yeah,
We had like a Sangu like study group.
Yeah,
and Dren
like,
was like one of the
I would just
math
teach
people.
Yeah, it was really fun. I still love math, like just the idea of it, but we don't have a good relationship anymore.
Aw.
No.
Okay, what else did I like? Ang dami ng list ko. How I'm Feeling by Love, that album, which is still being completed, has a lot of great songs. I'm So Tired is there. Drugs and the Internet. Ang dami. really good. Go listen to it on Spotify. Go listen to everything on Spotify. Any other last things before we end the music segment?
I'll just do a quick run through of hip hop.
Yeah.
The Baby had an album. I don't memorize all of the album titles. Sorry, fake fan. But The Baby had a great album.
I'm Baby.
Yeah,
Called
he
I'm
exploded
Baby.
on YouTube. What do you call this? Stormzy had a big year. It was a big year for
Grunge yung tawag
yeah,
kay
for-
Stormzy, diba?
yeah, for grunge, which is basically just UK hip hop, and the sound is completely different. It's amazing.
And I know
Brockhampton-
Stormzy because of Little Mix, which is so okay.
Yeah. And he also did a song with Ed Sheeran, which helped his career a lot. So I'm very happy of all those collaborations. Brockhampton had a great year. Insane Clown Posse had a great year. It was a lot of
Same reaction. Same.
I'm like, who are these?
No, Insane Clown Posse is still alive.
yeah, they're still around. They released an album last year, and yeah, I think hip hop always has a special place in my heart just because it's so visceral and very angry, and I feel like we should be angry now. So
From K-pop to hip hop, real quick.
yeah, so it was actually a good year for new wave hip hop, and I'm very. I think Eminem also had I think it was 2018, but he also had a big year. So I wish that we listen to more of the underground hip hop. So that's why I give a shout out to The Baby. And although they eventually became mainstream now, its roots are always in the underground. So yeah.
And even in the Philippines,
Yeah, exactly.
it's the underground scene or the non-mainstream scene.
Calix.
It's really
Yeah, Calix.
getting out there. I mean, it started with
And the Psychedelic Boys story also.
Yeah.
Shout out to OPM.
Batang Pasaway.
Batang Pasaway.
Dot MP3.
Bro.
Saka yung mga
We have
Neneng
good
B.
rappers. We have really good rappers too. So
Yeah. I mean, people are saying kasi na, Pinoy rap is so gross, so jeje. It's its own,
Excuse
ano,
them.
it's
just
its
because
own.
it sounds different doesn't mean that.
Yun nga, that's
Please-
what makes it unique.
Listen to Collateral on Spotify.
Because if you think about it, they're rapping about the same thing. You know, people go oh, you're just talking about you miss your girl, whatever. That's exactly the same thing as Western
Yeah,
hip hop.
yeah. Nadarang ganun. Pero that was so 2018.
Yeah.
I mean, Shanty Dope is coming out with a really good comeback soon. So watch out for that. Syempre nag-plug na naman ako. But yeah, it's up to that vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
I'm gonna shout out my sad girls.
Oh my gosh, right. Go ahead. We were talking about this.
Well, my album of the year I think is Caroline Polachek's Pan.
Oh my gosh, that was really good.
I grew up with that sound. Chairlift was formative for me. Chairlift, Bon Iver, Fleet Foxes. Wow. That was my 16
I haven't
year old.
heard those names.
Like I see Danny tweet about her and I was like
I
so
like
I
her
got
name.
so curious and then I Spotify'd her and then I literally messaged him right after. I was
Awesome.
like, this is so good.
If you listen to one pop song this year, if you only have time to listen to one, gun to your head, Make It So Hot You're Hurting My Feelings. It's probably the best
Noted.
pop song of the year. Also, I like Jenny Lewis's On the Line. Angel Olsen's All Mirrors. I mean, Angel Olsen's this whole deal. She's such a chameleon. Every album, I listened to her whole thing in 2019. I'm just immediately one of my favorite artists. Clairo, Bags is one of my favorite songs of the year. And Lana. Norman F. and Rockwell, Consensus, the year's best album. I would be inclined. I'm not upset about it. It's great. I listened to it when it came out, and it's just that was one of the saddest nights of my life.
It was really sad.
It's a sad album.
Parang that part where she comes into the Don't Call Me Angel, it's upbeat, and then Lana Del Rey
with the
comes
song,
in.
but the individual parts that they had were fine. And I think
Yeah.
that part was my favorite.
Yeah, that's just I think that's it. I mean, for me in music, didn't really have time to do a lot. Old Town
yeah.
Road and
Yeah.
Oh my
The
goodness.
Billy Ray Cyrus remix.
Billy Ray Cyrus
that's-
remix.
it slaps.
It's a different
Yeah.
dimension.
Yeah.
I listened to it like
Ang daming remix.
Low-key,
They even had a
really good.
BTS
As
remix.
a fan of hip hop, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Billy Ray's
As a fan of
verse?
country. It's really
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
good, And just two songs, Good Side by Liz Phair, Glittery by Casey Musgraves.
Oh my gosh, Glittery is so good.
Casey must
I didn't get to watch
Love her
the though.
I haven't, but Glittery
Special.
is just
Yeah.
Speaking of Casey Musgraves, just reminded me of Charlie XCX. Also, shout out to her.
Oh, yeah,
I love
yeah.
her
She had a
so
good
much.
year also,
Yeah.
right?
Gone.
And she has a new song for Nintendo, right?
Oh, does she? I didn't know that. It's amazing though.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I forget what it's called. I just saw a video.
Yeah.
May video pa siya na si Mario kasama niya and all that
Oh
stuff.
my gosh, yeah.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
And last, I guess, Beautiful Ghosts by Taylor Swift from Cats.
I thought we were saving it for cats.
I'm just gonna say it here and then
Okay,
talk
yeah.
about it again later.
Cool.
Okay, so that's
Wait, I'll mention that. Okay, me and music, like I'm not updated at all. I listened to Lemonade by Beyonce for the first time last week.
Same though.
So yeah,
Weird.
but I realized that because I was looking through the list and it wasn't there, and I realized that the one album that I've listened to the most in 2019 was the cast album for Hades Town.
Oh my
goodness.
Which is the Broadway musical written by Anais Mitchell. And it's just like if you have not,
Yes.
obviously none of us have seen the actual show, but
I
like
have a
if,
friend that has with the original
my
cast,
God.
and I
my
hate
friend,
him.
like,
wala na ba yung
Ah,
OBC?
Yeah,
phone.
they left
Yeah,
her.
but the OBC,
the girl,
yeah.
what's her name? She left already.
Blizzard.
Yeah, she left
Ah,
already.
man, really?
Oh!
Anyway, but like that's
They
it's
were
it's
previews when
it's such
So
a good
now you're
like,
making me regret not watching it.
hey,
while
I
was
haven't
there.
seen it either, but like it's such a good
No, because I was like
folk
deciding
album,
if I
yeah.
should have watched it or
exactly.
not while I was there when
You should
they
have
were
watched
there,
it.
but I
What
did
did you
not.
see?
What did you watch instead?
What did I see? I watched like a bunch of other things. Be
Okay.
More Chill, Frozen.
Of course.
Of course, I would watch
Sound
Frozen.
was on previews and I was there.
I watched Mean Girls. Of course, I watched Mean
yeah,
Girls.
also fantastic.
Mean Girls.
Yeah.
What else did I watch? Let me check
I
my
saw that
list.
with nearly the whole original cast. It wasn't,
But
Taylor
Emil,
Louderman
did you have
skipped
anything
it,
else to?
No, it's really just Hades Town.
I love, yeah, but Hades.
I
sounds really
love
fun.
that album.
I think what's Hades
So
is
good.
Build a Wall. I think
That's
that
such
might
a
be-
good. That's
yeah.
that's one of my favorite songs
Exactly.
like ever.
Exactly.
The funny thing about that is this was written like before Trump.
Yeah, no, it's
Exactly.
uncanny. It's
Yeah,
very
exactly.
expression.
Obviously, even though you guys
Obviously, I'm
haven't
not a super stan.
Why do we build the wall?
Yeah, exactly. But his voice.
Yes, Emil
Why we
ASMR.
build the wall, we build the wall to keep us free. That's why we build the wall, we build the wall to keep us free. Woo! Guitarra.
Yes, Emil.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you're singing.
I was in a band in high school.
I was not.
We were terrible.
and I shouldn't have been.
Ayun, I watched Avenue Q for the first time live. I mean, I've seen clips and
Yeah, yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
but I didn't get to watch it until
internet.
it was closing na kasi. So I was
Can't
like,
sing that
it's
song.
my last chance to watch this
Yeah.
live.
Iconic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
iconic
I mean,
It
it
beat
beat
Wicked.
Wicked. That was what I'm
What was
saying.
it, like 2013?
I should.
I think yeah, I think it's a better musical than Wicked.
It beat Wicked eh, so
Yeah. That's insane.
yeah. I watched Come From Away then, which is
Good-
an older
good choice.
an older musical, and Tootsie, which is already closed.
Also, yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah, those were the ones I watched last time, and I should have watched Hades Town.
You should have watched it.
And the prom was there, and I wasn't able to watch it either.
That's alright.
But it's coming to Netflix as a Ryan Murphy movie with Ariana Grande, Meryl Streep.
What?
Question mark? I think Meryl Streep
Wait,
is
sorry,
gonna be
what's
there.
this?
The prom.
The Prom. Okay. I
So
haven't heard about
it's
this, like,
it's a
at all.
star-studded
And it's Ryan
Netflix
Murphy
thing.
too. You'd think I
Yeah,
would have heard about it.
Finally,
it's one of his billion projects
Ariana
in the
Grande
works.
and Meryl Streep.
The
dream
collab
team.
we've always wanted.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, so that's it for our music segment.
Yes.
We will be right back for our last segment, which is movies. Hopefully, we
We
don't.
might have to do
Yeah.
a break in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be back with
Jesus.
more popcorn after this break.
Baby, I've had my eye on you for some time. Wonder if a girl like me has ever crossed your mind. Hey, and I know till I'm satisfied. Hey, I'll show you what I can do. Tell you things you wanna hear. Everything I feel is clear. Baby, what's wrong with you? Been standing right in front of you, waiting for you to make your move. Baby, I'm leaving without you. Show me what I'm supposed to do. Baby, I'm leaving without you. Baby, I'm leaving without you. Show me what I'm supposed to do. Baby, I'm leaving without you. Baby, I'm leaving without you. Show me what I'm supposed to do. Baby, I'm leaving without you.
Girl, I love you, but you never felt the same. Girl, I love you, but you left and went away. Girl, I love you, but you never felt the same. Girl, I love you, but you left and went away. Girl, I love you, but you never felt the same. Girl, I love you, but you left and went away. Girl, I love you, but you never felt the same. Girl, I love you, but you left and went away.
Funny how times change, cause one day you're here with me, the next day you're gone, and now while I'm left with this pain. Like, why did you leave? Why couldn't you stay? I love you so much and then you ran away. I gave you my heart and you tore it in two, but I love you so I guess it's okay. Yeah, and I'm broken, and I'm hoping that I'll be okay by the morning. I'm falling, I'm longing, your love got me soaring so foreign. Can you please pick up this phone when I'm calling? Cause I'm in love,
Girl, I love you,
but you don't feel the same way. And now all I can say is you're the one I got away. Hey.
girl, I love you, but you never felt the same. Girl, I love you, but you left and went away. Girl, I love you, but you never felt the same. Girl, I love you, but you left and went away.
You're breaking my trust. I hate you so much. Didn't know love and you meant just lust. I just want you, I know you don't want me. I know it hit me, so you wanna be with. Whoa, but I know that it's me you think of when you get wild on the weekend. So I hope you're happy now that we're apart. I should've known from the start. Now when it came to you, Cupid just ran out of darts. Now I'm all at our hearts. And this cause of you. Yeah. And this cause of you. Cause I love you, but you left me. Gave you my kisses, but you never kept me. If you're an angel, then why do you tempt me to bite the forbidden fruit while you undress me? But it's okay. Love is complicated in every way. If I give up what I have today, do you think tomorrow what will I fade? Or will my feelings for you always stay? Sheesh, can you see? God put you in this world for me. I don't believe the things I'm meant to be, but I believe it when you're here with me. Yo, sorry, cause you don't feel the same and it sucks. And now all I'm left in is broken pieces of my heart that will always stay shut. Fuck, yeah.
Girl, I love you, but you never felt the same. Girl, I love you, but you left and went away. Girl, I love you, but you never felt the same. Girl, I love you, but you left and went away. Wait,
And we're back here on Popcorn with more of our best for 2019. Now we're at the last segment of the best of 2019, which is probably gonna take really long,
Oh my goodness.
unless we don't want it.
We'll
to be
do
that
our
long.
best.
Yeah.
We'll do our best.
We'll do our best.
Talaga.
We'll do our
So here are the movies that made our 2019.
We're all
Let's
very
just say
invested in movies.
Parasite, Bong Hive.
Yes.
Yun na yan.
Parasite.
Best picture, hopefully.
Oh my
In a
goodness.
few
I'm gonna be
weeks.
so sad if they announce it that one best foreign line, because I'll be like, oh my god, they're gonna Roma us again.
Yeah.
Roma us.
Pero
Yeah, Parasite.
I guess we
Ganda.
don't have to like talk about it too much.
we
Just
did
go
we
listen
did
to
a
our
whole-
mini
we did a whole
episode
about it.
Yeah.
quote unquote
Right.
mini-sode.
Hashtag Bonghai.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jessica Only Child. Let's go.
Yeah.
Jessica.
You forgot about that
go.
some music.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Jessica song.
That's the greatest snub of the Oscars.
Best original
Best
song.
original
I
song.
saw
And she
this, I
performs
saw
it
this
on
tweet.
stage.
Yeah, I saw this tweet which made me laugh and says, I can't You know, I find it so unbelievable that Little Women didn't have a director and The Parasite had no cast.
Yeah, had no actors.
Maybe if you put it together, they might win Best Picture.
Little Parasite.
Oscar.
Okay,
Parasite
what
win.
else? I mean, we know it's great and
Yeah.
we believe in it so much. Ito rin, same level as Parasite, but Pinoy-wise for me, Hello, Love, Goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
I
Wow.
will support.
Diba? I mean-
I have met people. I'm just gonna be quiet for the rest of it.
people.
Let me just say that I have heard people that like strongly dislike it. I have heard that. So.
I mean, it happens with every movie. Like,
Yeah,
if, you
yeah,
all,
exactly.
if you all see the Parasite takes on Twitter, I see.
Yeah.
Don't.
I don't
Oh,
want
speaking
want
of
to, don't do it.
Parasite, what's so funny lang pala about it was that I was just posting about the Oscar news. I was like, yes, deserve. Then one of my philo profs, it's actually Cesar Pasco, was like, messaged me, where can I watch this? I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Because he's such a movie guy then. Like,
A
did
lot
you
of
take...
the Philo
Yeah.
profs are film
Yeah,
profs.
so like...
Calasanz's influence.
Oh my gosh, true.
Yeah,
So,
he like gives hard drives to people and like watch
Yeah.
this.
has Sir Calasan seen Parasite?
I hope
That's a
I think
that's
he's
a
on
big
his,
question.
He's on his sabbatical right now. And I think he's like in Israel or whatever. So I'm
Well,
not sure. if-
Maybe they
showed
screen
it-
Parasite.
Well, I should just email him
know,
and
but you
say,
know what, they did
hi
show it.
sir, have you seen Parasite?
He'll appreciate that. He'll appreciate that.
I think he's gonna love it.
God, I hope so.
So it's just funny na, oh wow, the influence on my feed.
Parasite united my. It's the first time I've ever gotten my office to see a movie that everyone loved.
Yeah.
It's mixed reviews on
true,
my
true, true.
office, so
What? Okay, that's unreal to me.
Oof.
In my office, Parasite is like.
I mean
it's kind
they
of
said they
acclaimed.
liked
Yeah.
it, but it's not the way we're hyping it up to be right now. But
Fair.
Fair.
Okay.
let's
Yeah.
respect them.
Like,
but
it's not,
I
it's
get
not
that.
exactly the second
It's
coming of
impossible,
Christ, but
yeah.
I mean,
There is no
close.
movie that you
Second
can't
coming of
overhype, right?
Mark
You can always overhype a movie to some
yeah,
degree,
but
so.
it's just like wow. Even like the alternate
Yeah.
posters they post on the
Oh, and then
Parasite
ang
Facebook
posters,
page.
yeah.
The French poster, the Japanese
the
poster,
stairs?
The UK
Oh,
one,
it's
the
so
UK
good.
one yata yun.
The one where it's like a
Yung baliktad
Yeah.
sila.
Oh, yung baliktad. The French
Ano,
one
that's
was
new,
a stock
yeah.
house.
Yeah, I think I saw that also.
The
but
Japanese poster was great also.
Yeah.
Reminded me of
Yeah, yeah,
Shoplifters.
yeah.
This Japanese poster.
I haven't even seen the
Oh, it's so good.
Shoplifters.
Like, if you need a good-
Where can I?
if you
May,
need a good
may,
crack,
may ano na ba yun? May download.
That came
na
out
yun?
like a year ago.
Dude, yes, it's out.
It's out. It's out.
Well,
Sabi naman yung
I
may
just saw
download.
Burning like recently. Like
no,
I was
bro.
like,
It's like the
See,
Murakami.
That was the
That
most
was-
slept on movie last year. It was insane that nobody was talking about it.
I think it's because it was. I mean,
Korean.
Korean. I mean, a lot of
Korea
people, like,
master race
I think
joke.
the one part of Parasite discourse I resent is people going like, Korean cinema finally made it.
No,
Yeah,
Did you
I
all
was like,
see
bro.
Burning?
Have you seen Poetry from 2011?
Yeah.
Lee
Like,
Chang-dong.
did you all see? I mean,
Memories of Murder.
Memories of Murder.
the I'm the handmaiden shit.
Oh, I'm
the
Handmaiden.
Handmaiden.
Old Boy.
Old Boy.
Right
My
Now, Wrong
goodness.
Then, Hong
yeah.
Train to Busan.
Train to Busan.
Yeah, super mainstream.
Koreans
So-
can do anything.
I know, it's
Yeah.
insane. Their cinema
It's
is so
it's America that
Grab
hasn't
it.
caught up to them. So.
Yeah.
True,
exactly.
true.
Get wrecked, Hollywood.
So
Disney.
Parasite.
yeah.
Wait till Disney buys out.
Oh no! Why would you
Wait
say
till they
that?
buy out
Like-
YGSM.
Like tomorrow and then it's
Disney
like-
Plus featuring K-pop stars.
With Marvel. Oh no!
I just want to clarify one thing too. I think a lot of people automatically get mad when they see that they're doing an adaptation of Parasite on HBO. But in my mind, it's like, but it's the same director, so why?
Okay, no, I have an.
He's the
I-
producer.
I have
Mamaya
an
na lang
opinion
yun
on
sa
that.
next
Yeah,
episode.
but I have an opinion on that.
Okay.
Yes, I semi-agree with your opinion.
Yeah,
I
that's fine.
Let's
That's the devil
expound on it
Yeah, but
later.
I know,
Yeah.
yeah, he has a bit on.
Okay, so now we're ano pa, Hello, Love, Goodbye. We also have a whole episode
you.
on that. I mean, I love
That's
it.
awesome. Yeah.
I'm a Queen
Shout
Catherine.
out to Carmi.
Shout out to GMA Artist Center for allowing Alden Richards to go to to appear
Oh, yeah,
in this
that's right,
movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a win-win naman talaga.
Yeah, it's insane.
And it's the highest grossing Filipino movie of all time.
Yes, it is. And Catherine had an absolutely
Deserved.
insane year.
Grabe.
So, yeah, shout out to Catherine.
So,
it's very, very nice also.
the pressure is on kung anong lalabas sa Catherine universe this year. I'm sure Dren knows.
Yes, I do.
but
Hello, Love, Goodbye too. Parasite.
Catherine is actually Darna now.
I really.
Catherine is actually Ding in Darna.
Oh my god.
My office mates watched it at the office once.
It's very sweet. I
Which
think.
one?
Yung Hello
Hello,
Love.
goodbye. I haven't seen it. I was out of the country when it.
What I like so much about it, and again, you can just.
Is it on I Want na?
No, I don't think it's on I Want yet because I think it's doing
Great elsewhere.
Yeah, I think it's like really strong in like
okay.
Vietnam and other countries.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, I know Kathnil is like royalty in Indonesia. specifically
are
Indonesia.
though.
Yeah, like literally, like how much we love K-pop, they love Kathiawar, which is insane. So
I don't blame them.
Yeah, exactly.
A stan.
I just like that it's a very sorry. I just want to say because I don't see it as a romantic comedy. Necessarily.
isn't.
It's a very nice working millennial like story.
It's our
So that's what I
version
like.
of
and it's based on a true story. if you guys
ano,
didn't know.
anak
Yeah.
in a sense.
Oh no, that's
Wow.
true. And like
Yeah.
I like it more than Anak.
Shout out to Olivia Vilma.
But I'm Vilmania now. So.
And
I'm a Catherinian.
yeah, I
How
know-
do you say
yeah.
Catherine stands? Catherinian, Catherinatics, Cath World. Cath World din, di ba?
Yeah, Kathiawar. Alam na.
Well, it's your job. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I mean, anything else for Hello, Love, Goodbye?
Oh my goodness.
No, just
We have love in
yeah,
episode
just-
12 of the podcast at Hello, Love, Goodbye.
Okay.
Booksmart.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
my
It's Denny's
seen it.
spotlight.
Booksmart.
I've never seen it.
I mean, I saw
Emil
it.
Hype.
I just saw it, and it's amazing.
It's amazing. I've never been like as I'm in a group chat of like pop culture geeks, and I get
What? Can you add us?
No, it's like when I was 16, I joined the forum, and then they
Oh,
like,
okay.
That's awesome.
So we have
Everyone's
to
like
create
10
our
years older than
own.
me now. But like I get dunked on a lot because I have a very specific like vibe, which is actresses who become directors and debut with the coming of age film.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
Gerwig, Olivia Wilde.
Wilde.
like not even just actors, Bo Burnham with
Oh,
Ed
yeah,
Wood, which I like a lot.
Oh yeah, I love 8th grade too.
Like, but Booksmart I think was special because the movie shouldn't work. I think the way it's structured, it's basically a series of music videos, but the way Wilde directs it, you believe. Like
It's
the
so
acting is
real.
so good.
It's
Yeah.
so real
A
for
lot of
me.
people say that these aren't how the way high school kids are like. I'm like, sorry, this was my high school experience. Well, my college experience. But like, I mean, everyone just like trying to be the best possible person they can be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I love about it.
that's what my coming of age was like. I don't know what
Yeah.
yours was like, but I related to that. Also, Slip Away, probably the best needle drop of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Just that entire sequence from Caitlin Dever in the pool up to like the restroom scene, and just actually the whole end of the movie. I think it's a movie that is a lot better than it should be.
For a high school movie,
For, like,
coming of age
it doesn't
movie.
do anything new, but
Yeah, exactly. That's that's so interesting
Yeah.
about it for
it's
me.
just, it feels so. It's genuine.
Yeah.
It's genuine.
It reminds me a lot of 8th grade in
Yeah.
a lot of ways. Yeah.
And I agree with what you were saying. Na parang after watching the movie, I was like, I watched it on a plane. Apparently, may plane cut. I don't know if I saw a plane cut or a non-plane
I hope you
cut.
didn't see the
I'll have to
plane cut.
find out.
I hope so. Too.
But I watched it on a plane. But I don't know if Pal had the plane cut or the regular cut. Anyway, I mean, after watching, I was like, did they read my mind after my experience
Yeah,
and put
exactly.
it into a movie?
And then you realize there's like this collective
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, grabe lang. Parang
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
This is trend that we were doing a study, Secrets, Sergeant was. We were doing like a study, and right now there's like this trend like before you used to try to get as many people to watch a movie as possible, but try to hit as many demographics.
Yeah.
That's what Hollywood would do. But now with quote unquote independent cinema or whatever you want to call it now, it's like almost like the more personal your story, the more it'll affect like people, and that seems to resonate a lot with millennials particularly, which is
Hello, love,
it's so-
goodbye.
it's so interesting. So I'm really happy that we're
Yeah.
shifting towards that
Yeah.
now, because I'm kind of tired of all the tropes that would always come out in
Yeah.
usual Hollywood
Yeah.
movies. So yeah.
Like one last Booksmart thought. When I was thinking about it, and I realized how little stories there are about like overachievers, and like very personal to me as a former overachiever myself. Like there's a lot of nerd stories, and
Yeah.
it's always like they're always portrayed as these awkward like social outcasts, but the smart kids in Booksmart, they're not awkward. They're gregarious but also afraid a little of the world, and I think that's very real. A lot of people were like, these kids should have friends, but I was like, no, I get it. Sometimes
And that
It doesn't
scene
work out.
in the banyo,
Yeah,
na
that's-
parang, wow, that's so, parang, I would imagine na parang, yeah, why did I have to like do that for the last how many years? And then everyone else was having fun.
yeah, that's
And Billy Lord, period.
Billy Lord everywhere.
Yeah,
Please be my friend Gigi.
okay. So what else? I'll go.
Well,
Jen.
my favorite, since Denny led with his favorite film of last year, my favorite film of last year was called Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
like- which is-
He claimed it. He claimed
nicked
it.
yeah, which is my favorite movie of last year. I mean, you can claim it too. But I also want. I'll talk briefly about it, but I also want to talk about a few movies that I wish got more like publicity. And the thing that I'll say about Portrait of a Lady on Fire, because if I talk about the plot, that's the entire movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? It's not
Yeah.
any.
doesn't-
It's not the kind
you
of thing
don't-
where it's like you
can't
can hide
spoil
the
it.
twist. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just about this woman who is hired to paint another woman who is
Who is on fire? Joke.
This girl is on fire.
she's trying to what do you call this? Basically, like the mom of that the lady that she's painting a picture painting of is trying to get her to kind of not like sell her hand in marriage, basically. So she has to try to figure out a way to make her smile, because for some reason she won't smile when any other artist comes, especially the male artist. So it's just the story of how she gets to know her and eventually makes her smile, and then they fall in love. And it's
Hashtag Sana all.
literally, like, I wouldn't change a frame of this movie. It's
Grabe.
literally
Ang
perfect
ganda.
for me. So yeah,
And the scenery is gorgeous also.
yeah.
I mean,
It
aside from the
looks
story.
like a painting. Every single frame
And
is
that's
ridiculous.
why my personal like biggest no of the Oscars this year is that it wasn't nominated for cinematography,
Yeah.
because it's insane how beautiful it is. And this director is like late 20s, I think, which is also
No.
Gamma's in her
She's a
late
little
30s.
older.
late 30s. Okay,
She's a little older.
But,
Adele
like-
Haenel's the one in that.
oh my god. But yeah, so for me it's crazy how good that movie is. But I also want to give two particular movie shout outs that came out in 2019, and I don't think anyone really talked about it. And one's Long Shot,
Oh, I love
Oh,
that
Long
movie.
Shot's really good.
which is stars Seth
Everyone
Rogen.
just slept on it.
Yeah,
no?
Charlize Theron.
And they went to Manila. They went to the Philippines.
think
It's
it
really
did.
good.
And it's just the story about how this kind of washed up, woke, quote unquote, journalist is hired by the Secretary of Defense in the United States to write her speeches for her because they need to be, quote unquote, more funny. And it ends up being about how we perceive women in the media now, and how being quote unquote woke can be toxic sometimes, and there is like a gray area where you need to compromise in order to eventually make change.
Yeah.
So I love the movie. And the other movie that I want to talk about is called Crawl, which is
Oh, is that the alligator
crocodile.
crocodile?
Yeah,
I watched that.
yeah, and it's basically, well, at first it seems like a Jaws ripoff because it's just the story about how this girl during a whirlwind in her hometown goes back to see if her dad's okay, and it
Yeah.
ends up her dad was attacked by a bunch of crocodiles who washed in because of the storm. And I thought
But
it would
those
be-
crocodiles were huge
Yes.
for like
no, but
crocodiles.
that's the actual size though. Like they did it,
Really?
Like, yeah, they took like real
What?
Yeah, they're like twice as long as like an average human. They're like 10 feet, 12 feet
Yeah,
long.
crocs are huge, man.
Yeah, so and it feels like a Jaws ripoff because
Science.
Like, oh, how are they going to?
I'm
how
like
are-
shocked.
It's like how are they going to escape from the crocodiles? Whatever.
Ang galing. It's like a what do you call this?
Home invasion.
Home invasion, but with crocodiles.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's
But they add
interesting.
like this interesting element where the girl kind of has to reconcile with her dad because she is an aspiring Olympian swimmer.
Oh,
And then they're
Yeah.
underwater
Just so happened.
with
Exactly.
crocodiles.
And you'd think it'd be super corny. He's like, of course she's a swimmer. But there's this whole dynamic because the dynamic of the father and the daughter is that the daughter feels like the dad always had favorites, and why did he stop wanting for her to achieve?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
You find out that it turns out the dad used to coach her. So there's this really interesting dynamic where it's like, does the dad about how this man, this father, tried to love his daughter in the best way that he could, which was through to coach her, but really, in reality, she just wanted him to be a normal dad, which ended up being very touching, and I loved it. So, and the visual effects are great.
and the parang it was really like intense when it got to it.
It's really good, like horror set pieces. It's really fun.
It was fun. It was a
Yeah.
fun movie. What other fun movies? Knives Out.
I was gonna say that's
Knives Out.
one of the most fun
Because we respect
experiences.
The Last Jedi.
Ooh.
I love
I love The Last Jedi.
I love
Here we go.
Jedi good.
Last Jedi good. Yeah, that's one of the most fun experiences I've
That was
ever had in the
delicious.
cinema. And like people were
That
shouting.
white sweater.
When I watched that movie for the first time, people were shouting at the screen and I didn't mind. Like usually I hate it when people are noisy. And this one, everyone was like yelling talaga at Ana de Armas. Parang, no!
Grabe, ang galing
But
ni
it
Ana
was
de Armas.
She's so
Yeah.
good in that movie, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been following her career. I watched her first in this super random erotic horror thriller that she was in called Knock Knock with
Yeah,
Keanu
with
Reeves.
Eli Roth.
And then she did Blade Runner.
Blade Runner,
It's
yeah.
like her range is insane.
She was parang
She was a
robot.
girlfriend.
Joy,
She was a
yeah,
girlfriend,
Joy. Yeah.
The Ryan Gosling.
She's like a
Joy?
robot.
Sana si Ethan joke.
Okay.
Okay, back to Hello
Joy
Love
Marie
Gas.
Fabregas.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, Emil, but yeah, nice out.
Oh no, that's yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
like
And there's gonna be
Knives
a
Out.
sequel in
Sequel,
development
like a
na.
Benoit
Daniel
Blanc.
Craig and then some other dudes.
It makes sense. Ang ganda na may
Yeah.
central character lang that can go within
and it's crazy
mysteries.
how it's like an Agatha Christie type thing, and you know, it's
Like, and
very.
it's totally original.
Yeah, it's completely
totally
Yeah.
original. It's
Which
not
is
based on
awesome, yeah.
anything.
Amazing. The mind.
I hope Daniel Craig does different accents.
I was gonna say that. I saw that tweet. Na parang, and they never explain it, but
Yeah.
he's just using a different
Usually,
accent.
like, it's not even an actual Texas. It's like Foghorn Leghorn. Like
It's like
accurate.
it's
It is
so
Foghorn
it's
Leghorn.
so OA, but you don't care.
Care,
because
yeah.
Like
It's so
it's
funny.
just part of the
Yeah.
aesthetic.
He has a line.
That
in the, film
the
that's been going
donut-
around.
the donut monologue.
line is hilarious.
Knives Out probably had like the best closing shot of any movie.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah.
Baby Yoda.
Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
this. Like I won't spoil it, but it's this amazing bit of it. Really ties back to the
Yun yung
first
Yeah.
one.
applause
Exactly.
talaga.
Basta be kind, people. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the
Like,
moral
Be
of
a,
the
be
story.
a good
yeah.
nurse.
And
Yeah.
I love Anna de Armas.
And like us related-ish to Knives Out, I guess Ready or Not is on the
It's
same.
another one.
Up
Parang-
there. I love it. I love
Yeah.
Ready.
Yeah, I mean, parang ganun din family dynamics. And it's just really fun.
And it's like it harkens back to like back when horror was just dumb fun. Like Crawl is also just dumb fun.
yeah, yeah.
So,
I mean, like Ready or Not there's a point, there's social
Yeah,
point
exactly.
there, but it's also just
Yeah,
you're
it's
watching
ridiculous,
Samara
yeah.
Weaving and Andy McDowell and Adam Brody. You're watching just
Yeah.
these guys work.
yeah,
And
sorry,
some-
I didn't mean like it doesn't have like an underlying message, but just like
no, like it's dumb
Yeah.
fun, but there's
It has
other dimensions.
yeah,
exactly,
then-
Which is like my controversial opinion. I think it's the best pure horror movie of the year.
wow.
Like,
It is,
and
yeah.
it is the year of Us and Midsommar.
Yeah,
so that's my
exactly.
opinion.
I was about to bring up.
Yeah, and like
And those were really good
yeah,
too.
those were really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
But like I thought Ready or Not.
The year of Florence Pugh.
So
Yeah.
pure
And
fun. I don't know what
Who's
the word is.
24 by the way?
I know.
She's
What?
our age,
She
she's
just
my
she
age.
just turned 24.
She's dating
Crazy.
Zach Braff.
which is hilarious. It just makes me laugh. That good for them. I'm happy for them, but it just makes me laugh.
Ano pa? Yeah.
This
I mean,
year of-
Samara Weaving is having a good
Samara Weaving,
upstart
and
for
her
her
next movie
career.
is gonna be so like
Bill and Ted
excited.
3.
No.
What else?
The one she's doing with Daniel Radcliffe and Natasha Liu-Bordizzo.
I can't remember what it is.
Is this Guns Akimbo or no?
Yes, this is gonna
Guns Akimbo. Yeah.
the title escaped
So
me.
it's an upward
It's just-
trajectory
It's
for
really,
her.
it's like this super absurd comedy.
yeah, it's gonna be like I'm just like it's the picture of Daniel Radcliffe in the
Yeah, with the
bathrobe
guns.
Basically, yeah, the premise is just Daniel Radcliffe's this guy that gets 2 guns tied to his hands, and he
Okay.
can't take them off for some reason. So it's like how does he go to the bathroom and whatever.
and
It's
then
really
and
fun.
then Samara Weaving hunts him down and he
yeah,
has to
exactly, because he's
survive
like a
to save
drug
his
dealer or something.
girlfriend,
I don't
yeah.
know.
May trailer na ba to?
I don't think so.
No.
It's just like
a lot
random
of,
screenshots
like
of-
random screenshots of the shoot.
Of Daniel Radcliffe, like in the
And
middle of
then,
New
like,
York,
with, like,
in
a
his bathrobe
bathrobe.
and with 2 guns in his hand.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
she's
like
fun.
Samara Weaving is just I love her career choices. She leans into like this bloody gore. She's never done like a straight. I don't think she does a lot of straightforward. I mean, Bill and Ted isn't even that straightforward.
Yeah,
she did
Bill and
Ted
Mayhem.
3, by the way, which is
Yeah.
coming
Which
out.
comes out the same
Next
day as John Wick.
John
Ay, na,
Wick.
Matrix pala yun.
The
Matrix
Matrix-
and John Wick are
Yeah,
coming
4.
out the same day.
Yep.
So
They're coming
more
out the
Keanu.
same
Big year for
us.
Keanu.
Matrix.
Yeah.
What else?
Oh, speaking of Keanu Reeves, what's he called? The movie with Ali Wong. The Always Be My
Always
Maybe.
Be My Maybe.
Which is
the
also,
Netflix
yeah.
version of Always Be My Baby because may Star Cinema
Back
movie.
in my day, it was a Filipino movie.
Back in my day, it was
Yeah.
R.C. Munoz.
also
and
really
Gerald
good.
Anderson. That was a good movie. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
that
no, it's a good
tasteful scene na, hindi pala, Bea Alonzo pala yung naisip ko.
Nagalit lahat ng RC stands ngayon.
Ooh, RC. Yeah.
What else? That was
For a
good.
project I can't talk about.
Speaking of Netflix, Someone Great was great.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't.
We're all sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's another movie na parang, wow, I
Like-
want a love like this. Ganun vibe. This is ano,
Gina Rodriguez one.
Yeah, Gina Rodriguez.
Oh, cool.
And Death by a Thousand Cuts by Taylor Swift is inspired because Taylor Swift watched this movie.
Oh, that was
Wow.
that's a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. It came out
Connections.
earlier in 2019. Taylor Swift came out with her
Like mid, like September,
August.
something like that.
29. Alam. So yeah, it's a really good movie. It's about para siyang One More Chance-ish, but
Wow.
without them getting back
Vanessa
together.
Valdez is shook.
I mean, in a sense, na it's about a breakup and how a person like
moves on from that?
reconciles
I see.
from that breakup, and it's just there's
Yeah, okay,
one
there's kinda
moment
like one more chance.
in a subway, just really great. So go watch Someone Great. It's great.
It's great. I'd like to also say that I Sapa with Feelings also. I think.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Black Sheep.
But it didn't get enough love
I know
that it deserved.
didn't. Yeah, but
like-
I think it's.
I was surprised.
Yeah, I think it's just the. It isn't really like not trying to be funny, but there's like a language barrier somewhere there where it's like it's hard. It's hard to absorb what. Because it's about a couple. The guy is deaf and the girl is
Yeah.
quote unquote hearing.
Pero ang galing kasi na the way they handled
Carla
it.
is great. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Prime Cruz, the director, Athenean, by the way, who handles it really, really well. There's some great scenes where he just mutes the sound and allows you to see things from the point of view.
Yung
of
may parang vibrations na, oh my gosh.
it's beautiful.
Again, another episode you should listen to. It's episode, I don't know the number anymore.
But it'll be in the title.
Yeah, it's somewhere there. Hanapin nyo lang, Isa Pa With Feelings. What else? I'm just gonna say Rocketman because I enjoyed Taron's performance
Yes.
in that movie. And
I think
the music on its own has its own
He'll
life.
forever be bummed he didn't get that nomination after
He has a
campaigning
Golden
all
Globe.
out.
Yeah.
I mean,
He went all out. He was the
Especially-
only guy who campaigned.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
after Rami Malek was
Yeah.
nominated for Bohemian
Yeah.
Rhapsody. For
Like-
Lol.
one for being interesting.
True.
I'm
Yikes.
gonna recuse myself.
Yikes.
Yeah.
What else?
Marriage Story, no, Boom Bap.
I loved Marriage Story.
Yeah.
It's another parang book smart, but then I didn't get
Yeah.
into a divorce or
Yeah, I
anything.
mean-
But it's like a modern
But you feel
day
it, yeah.
Kramer
Yeah.
versus Kramer,
Yeah.
but with Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
then-
Scarlett versus
Yeah,
Scarlett.
and don't listen to that. Yeah, and I've seen a lot of controversy, not controversy, but like hate just directed towards the actors because it's like, oh, it's just two people yelling at each other. It's like,
No, it's
Like,
not.
yeah, I mean, just because it's an over the top
Yeah.
reaction doesn't mean that it's bad acting.
It's not over the top even.
Yeah, exactly.
Like people, like Netflix,
Carrey is
like,
over the top.
Like watch the whole. Like people keep posting that one scene and dunking on it.
Yeah.
But when I watched the movie, I didn't notice.
Yeah, in the
It-
context
it
of the
works
movie,
in
it's
the movie.
Yeah, and Adam Driver sings on this.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Adam Driver sings
had a great
like,
year.
Sondheim,
Yeah,
and you're just
Adam Driver
Yeah.
had The Rise of Skywalker, The Marriage Story, and The Report, all of which are
They Dead Don't Die.
and Dead Don't Die.
Dead Don't
I haven't
Die.
seen that yet.
Like it's an acquired taste. Like it's
Mixed din siya, diba?
deliberately bad,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
which I like and I respect.
But yeah, I mean, I was just like, I was so invested in the two people in that movie, and I was wow.
And shout out to that movie for having
And shout out to that social worker.
yeah.
She's the best actress.
That, that amazing supporting cast, like I mean, beyond Laura Dern.
Oh my
Ray
gosh,
Liotta,
Laura Dern.
Alan Alda,
We stand.
Merritt
Oh my
Weaver,
goodness.
Julie Haggerty. When Julie Haggerty popped up, and I was like, oh my god, it's Julie.
Yeah, why-
And then
why
my
are you
heart
here?
just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I love her. I love that
So
whole cast.
yeah,
You know what, the kid. He was annoying.
Mm-hmm.
That's- I don't like children.
Cute
No,
children.
kid actors are hit and miss for me.
But he has this great scene at the end of the film with Adam Driver.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, he has this great scene
I haven't seen it.
at
Okay.
the end of the film.
okay. So let's
Yeah,
not
the scene
spoil it
with
Let's
too
talk about
much.
something I know we've all seen. Avengers Endgame.
Well,
Because, you know, I mean, we have to talk about it.
because
And
Avengers Endgame.
It is the most.
Highest grossing movie
It is
of all
the most
time.
movie of 2019.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fun
yeah,
fact,
we've
out
all
of-
seen
yeah,
it.
The 10
Yeah, we have all
highest
seen
gross movies, out of the 10 highest grossing movies of 2019, 8 of them were from Disney. 8 of them were from
Chol is
It's
very
not right, it's
satisfied.
not right.
Chol is very happy.
Jesus.
They bought my they bought my
The other two
agency.
are- what
They
do you
bought
call
this podcast.
One was Joker. One was Joker, and the other one was.
Was it
wait.
a what?
So they had Lion King,
Once Upon a Time?
probably. Was Lion King in there?
Once upon a time.
Yeah.
Lion King, Aladdin,
the
Avengers
three Marvel.
Endgame.
Let me list them down. Let me list them down.
Marvel,
From number
Spider-Man.
1 to number 10. Avengers Endgame, Lion King, Frozen 2, Far From Home, Captain Marvel, Toy Story 4, Joker, which is one of the ones that isn't Disney, Aladdin, Rise of Skywalker, and number 10, also not Disney, Hobbs and Shaw. Those are the
Oh,
top 10.
Hobbs and Shaw made it.
I love the Agent of Chaos and
God.
I love Disney
Joker.
Plus.
Maybe Joker is our savior.
I listened to this really this interesting podcast, and my appreciation for Fast and Furious grew so much because they said that Fast 5 actually kind of started the vibe for a lot of the new heavy CGI movies now, heavy action movies, and it hit me. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of true. So I watched Hobbs and Shaw, and I liked Hobbs and Shaw.
It was fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
I enjoyed.
So stupid.
It was fun.
It's the only Fast and Furious movie
I'm the Black
ever
Superman.
seen. And it's the dumbest
He said
thing I've
that,
ever
right?
seen.
I'm Black Superman.
But Vanessa
Yeah,
Kirby
Black
is in it,
Superman,
so
basically.
Yeah, I mean that's the price of admission. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. So,
ano pa?
Also, just pointing out, Captain Marvel was number 5, so suck it, haters.
Grabe. What else? I guess John Denver trending was really good also.
I was gonna launch into that and say that
Pinoy cinema
The year of the child actor.
My highlights for Philippine cinema are, well, number one, I have to say there's a small documentary that came out called Ace for Agustin, which is
Oh,
about, which,
I've heard about that too.
which is about an Aita farmer who's trying to get his, like, I think grade 5 education yata. And it's just
Where do you
like
see it?
in Cinema 76. It was Q Cinema. And,
Oh,
Q
okay.
Cinema, I remember.
and I feel like if there's any movie, like if I could like restructure the MFF and put in like one movie that the entire country needs to see, it would be that one. But like you mentioned, John Denver trending, because this year was like the year of the
Child actor.
independent film with a really great child actor or
Oh, yeah.
like young actor.
Indeed,
so
indeed.
John Denver trending.
And we had Derek Arden.
yeah, that's
here.
right. He was here.
Sana you guys were there, but
sorry.
that was kind of
Yeah.
biglaan lang.
Yeah.
So John,
But that's a good episode
it
also.
was that. Then there was Edward, Thought na sa rin.
I didn't get to watch
And
that.
the best.
Kalel 15, Jun Lana, and then
Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis.
Jun
Even the best.
What's his name? J.E. Tiglaw. And then, like, I would count it as like a young children in a movie, in a Filipino movie. My favorite movie of the year and my favorite Filipino movie of the entire decade. On the record, I swear, is Cleaners.
Yeah.
By Glenn Barrett, who's also Atenean/UP. It's just. Like, I think it's the best anthology movie I've ever seen. It's one of the best animated, because
Yeah.
technically it's
It's
an animated
animated,
movie.
Animated, you know, it's
And like you guys talking about Booksmart and how you connected to it, like that was your experience. Seeing the segment in Cleaners with the 3 emo kids was like literally me in high
Look at
school.
them Mills hair.
Look at this. And like I had never been so moved by, like, I was laughing so hard during that movie. I really wanted to cry if I wasn't surrounded by like senior high school students, which is it's nice.
You watched the same.
Yeah, there's like a block screening going on. But yeah, just like the way that movie is so. It starts out so silly, and then every like new segment becomes a little more serious, and then the ending is just
And
like
highlighters,
The ending is
I heard.
so good. It's like basta, yeah, and the look of it is fantastic as well.
yeah,
Basta.
I mean, and it's just not. It's not just like a gimmick.
Yeah, no.
Like I loved how Cleaners was just this exercise, and you know how we have these, we color in, and that was the whole aesthetic.
Yeah.
And it was a sort of way of reclaiming memory.
Yes,
putting your
yeah.
own color into what you remember.
Yeah.
And you know the black and white really evokes the sense of the past, and then the really bright highlighter colors is just, you know, it's just the past flows through us. You know, we are children and adults at the same time, which is what I got from Cleaners, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I found myself really moved at the end. Like my only like qualm is I wish it were longer, which is
Yeah.
the best qualm you can have about a movie.
My
Like, I would
only
take,
qualm
like,
is
30
I wish I have
minutes
seen it.
There's more.
Yeah.
Sana they
Yeah, it hasn't had a single screening after the
Yeah,
festival.
so I'm really waiting
I have
for it.
been waiting because
I know.
I don't want to watch it as like if ever I get a hold of a screener or something. I
Yeah.
need to see it.
Yeah, like
in the
if
cinema.
classic.
Yeah, same,
And I want to
same.
support it, of course. Yeah.
I don't,
Pero,
I don't
yeah.
learn Filipino movies this much.
Yeah, it's also like impossible to find them. So
It's super
find
weird
them on
lang na
YouTube.
my schedule did not
Yun nga
permit me
eh.
for that.
sayang,
And
it's
Edward
that
also.
particular movie.
And Edward had a second run
Yeah,
pa,
Edward
diba?
came out live for like a
yeah,
week.
no, it had a theatrical.
Pero
release.
wala eh. Sometimes the schedule,
came
the showbiz
up
life,
against
Dren would
Oh my
Oh my god,
understand.
really? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it came
Yeah,
up against
Edward
Joker.
versus Joker.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, Edward.
Cleaners
is,
talaga.
Like lovely. Edward's a lovely movie.
Yeah, it's wholesome. It's great.
Yeah.
I'll have to wait
But also a
for
bummer.
the screenings somewhere, somehow. I'm pretty sure it'll go to Netflix because Viva was the one who distributed.
Yep.
Cleaners.
No, Edward.
Edward's.
I mean,
Viva,
I
yeah.
distribute na,
I
diba?
wouldn't mind. I have like friends abroad who I got like hyped about Cleaners, and they'll never see it. You know.
Yeah, I think it's
man,
frustrating.
when I saw Cleaners, like my thought was that if there's anything like you can submit to the Academy, it's this one because it's
What did they
unique
submit
enough
this
to-
year?
What did they submit?
It's the one that was in Telluride. See,
Verdict, yeah.
Verdict, yeah.
Oh, I didn't get to
Brilliant-
see that
The
either.
very Brilliante Mendoza-esque, whatever.
I mean,
That was in PPP special
yeah,
something.
it's a special PPP thing.
why do we always like every other
Yeah, we
year
go with
submit
the
a
same-
Brilliante Mendoza-esque movie?
Because he has.
Because he's kilala na siya.
Yes, exactly. He has international pedigree, and Lav isn't gonna give us anything.
Yeah,
Lav Diaz isn't going to give us anything.
yeah, Love is
Or
like,
Kid La Tahimik, he's not
But
gonna
you know,
give us
if
anything.
you
Si Direk Katin.
but if you want to get into the Oscars, kasi
Although
like,
she's brilliant,
you have to
I will
play.
say
You have
that,
to play their
you have
game,
to play
man.
the game
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you need to catch their attention. I feel like
Exactly,
Cleaners is so like catch your attention. Like just the
Yeah.
story of how
But
they
it-
faxed
They
40,000
didn't
frames.
reach the submission ba? If
they didn't
it
submit
were,
Cleaners.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not sure kung umabot siya, but
Because
if
of-
ever it's
kasi it came out
eligible,
so late na eh. Diba?
I think it barely
Oscars
missed it. I
dumb
think it
rule.
barely missed it.
It's a dumb rule that
It's a
each
really
country can
dumb
only
rule.
submit
Yeah.
one movie.
Exactly.
Like
Like-
you could
like-
have had
yeah.
Portrait of a Lady
Exactly,
on
like
and Les
France.
Mis.
Oh my.
yeah.
But
Whatever,
it's
man.
cool. It's
Whatever.
fine.
Yeah.
Or you know,
Portrait's still
South
great.
Korea with Parasite and that comedy about policemen running a chicken restaurant that I really like.
Oh,
Or-
which is all this.
Extreme Job.
Yeah.
It's really
Did
funny.
you saw it in the
It's so
cinema then?
stupid. Yeah.
Somebody recommended that to me, not you, but I just heard about it. And I was like, the premise sounds so stupid, but it sounds
It's
really
so
fun.
dumb, but it's so funny anyway.
Yeah.
Sige, I will look for it also.
Like
I'm sure nasa Kiss Asian
know.
eh.
I think if anything,
Kiss anime.
this year was just such a big year.
This
for
is
foreign,
sponsored by Kiss
Oh,
Asian.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like my
absolutely.
favorite film of the year is actually this like little like no one has seen it outside of film Twitter. I think it's this Japanese doppelganger love story. Asaka 1 and 2. It's about a girl who
Sako 1 and 2. I feel like I've heard about it
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
like it's about a girl who falls in love with a guy in high school, and then he just mysteriously disappears. He just literally walks out the door and never comes back. Then like 2 years later, she moves to Tokyo. Then she meets a guy who looks exactly like him but is not him. So she falls in love with the guy. Like
Yeah,
she
obviously.
forces herself to fall in love with the guy because they look alike. But like it's about
And it's the same actor,
yeah, it's the same actor. It's about
obviously.
it's like
Us.
it's it's a meditation on
That guy came from the
like,
sewers or something.
like it's both like what is love? Like is it like love as a feeling versus love as an action? And
Wow.
also just like,
Deep cut. A
and
deep
Scott
cut.
Beck.
Yep. And also just a travelogue of what it's like to be in your 20s because the whole movie is about 10 years.
Oh, I love those kinds of films.
Yeah, it's just it's really I think like absolutely slept on.
Yeah.
And you know also The Souvenir, which I also like.
Just send it.
I've also heard so much about that.
Just send it our way and we'll watch it.
When I was in Toronto earlier in 2019, it was showing at TIFF, and like I really wanted to go, but I couldn't because family stuff. So yeah, it's a screening there.
Yeah.
Like if like you ever feel like being extremely sad
Oh.
for 2 hours,
That's like
Always,
The
dude,
Souvenir.
always.
And like if you really care about movies, I think because I think the appeal of The Souvenir is like it's the best. It's honestly the best edited film I've seen all year. Like the editing is an active part of the meta narrative. Like it's not just you don't notice it. The editing is like if Edgar Wright were a sad girl.
Wow.
That they should put that on the poster.
If Edgar Wright was sad, bro, then check.
This would be
Like if Edgar Wright
Joanna Hogg.
was like Angel Olsen. That's The Souvenir's aesthetic, and it's just I think it's it breaks my heart just thinking about it now. Yeah.
I try to catch it. There's so much to watch before it's
Dami,
lost.
so dami talaga.
Jesus.
Like
And they're just coming out now. Like
Yeah.
Jojo Rabbit is out.
Yeah, Jojo
now.
Rabbit's showing.
1917 is coming out.
1917
Feb
is Feb 5. Richard Jewell came out today.
Yeah, Richard Jewell came out today too.
They bumped it up like a few
Little
weeks.
Women, Feb 18.
The farewell. It's the farewell coming
The Farewell
here.
is
I mean,
not
it got
coming out,
snubbed,
Coming
but
here, but it's
But-
fantastic, and you should try
Yeah,
to catch it somehow.
I think the farewell is one of those. I didn't particularly love it, but I
Yeah.
think it's one of those movies
Exactly.
this year everyone has to.
The same, yeah.
Like-
I didn't like cry at the end or anything, but I thought it's great,
Like it's
really-
great, it's like I don't have the words for it.
And Lulu Wang and Barry Jenkins are just so
Oh,
cool.
they're like
I love them
they're the
so
best
much.
Hollywood couple.
Yeah.
No, it's Maya Rudolph and PTA.
Okay, we can debate that.
Like Maya Rudolph alone.
Oh no, I was gonna say that I would still take Maya Rudolph over PTA just by a hair.
Yeah, like
This one
Maya
I love both Lulu Wang
Yeah.
and Barry Jenkins at the same time. So
Yeah, I love me some Barry Jenkins.
God, he did a film I think this year also that flew under the radar.
think
No,
so.
last year was Bill Street was
Was it
last
Beale-
year.
Oh,
Beale
okay,
Street
sorry.
last
I saw that in I was lucky to see it in a cinema, and it's
that has
like
like one of the best musical scores that I've ever.
which one is this?
Beale
If Beale
Street.
Street
Beale
could
Street
talk.
could talk. It's
So,
just-
There's his follow up to Moon.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I saw. I was read.
Like-
This is on the book, right?
yeah,
Like
Moonlight was also based
After
on
this
Blake.
over,
Yeah.
go to Spotify, look for the soundtrack, and look for the song called Agape, and it's just gonna make you cry. Like it's just like a
Doesn't
short
Agape mean, like,
instrumental.
love?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a type
Yeah.
of love. Yeah, basta.
It's like the purest
yeah.
form, I
Ganda.
think.
I'm just gonna bring up The Irishman because I'm such
Yes,
a massive.
let's go.
I have not
Scorsese
seen
fan.
it yet.
I'm scheduled to see it in the next
I'm-
few days.
yeah,
I'm such
Same,
a massive Martin Scorsese fan.
Oh, man.
And I feel like as a Scorsese fan, you would appreciate. Obviously, it's a great movie on its own.
Yeah.
But I do think that I've heard some people say
I'm not
the
gonna
first
watch
half
it.
drags a little, and the second half really picks up a lot. I don't agree. I think the entire movie is
Yeah,
great.
the entire movie's great. I think.
Yeah. The thing that I love the most about it is that it feels like this movie's been in development since like
10 years. Been
Yeah,
10
like
years.
10 years or
Before,
something. It's
like
insane.
Gangs of New York in 2002.
Yeah, exactly. They had been
when it
the
started.
story goes that De Niro and Scorsese were looking for the next film to do with Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
And De Niro came across this book called I Heard You Paint Houses,
Yeah.
and it was about this guy called Frank Sheeran, and he loved the character. And Martin Scorsese saw how passionate De Niro was, and he was like, he can play that character. I want to direct this movie. And then it went into limbo for the longest time until Netflix came around and said, "We will give you the budget," because the budget of the film is $160 million.
Damn.
Which is insane. And it's because
that's a lot of facial.
yeah, exactly. Because, yeah,
Reconstruction.
they literally created technology, the
For-
best de-aging technology that, like
Yeah.
that they could,
Setup.
and it ends up being really smooth for me.
Yeah,
It's not
pretty
it's not
smooth.
that distracting. Yeah,
You notice it in like the first few scenes, and then
it just can't get
Scorsese,
over it.
just
Yeah,
grabs it.
exactly.
That was me and Cats.
Yeah. Don't compare The Irishman. But The Irishman. It's not like my favorite Scorsese movie. I like a lot of his old stuff more still. But I think that in terms of capturing what he's been trying to say his entire career, I think The Irishman comes closest. I think it's the most clear in it because I've seen a lot of people. In my opinion, Scorsese's movies are all about this is how people live their lives, and they think it's good and they think it's cool, and at the end, it's never worth it. It's never worth a life of crime. It's never worth a life
Crime
of violence.
bad.
Yeah, and yeah, basically. And I think that this one showcases that the clearest, and that's why.
But
I
do
love
they
it.
live in a society?
Pretty much.
I've never seen people say The Irishman is like something to aspire for. Like
Exactly,
people say
yeah.
Goodfellas. Like a lot of people
Exactly,
say
yeah.
Goodfellas. A lot of like
Taxi.
I want to be. Yeah, I want to be like Travis Bickle.
Like, but no one wants to be Frank Sheeran.
Exactly, which is why I love it
Yeah.
so much. Yeah.
And it's just such a. If I think the more of a Scorsese fan you are,
Yeah.
Scorsese fan you are, the more you'll resonate with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if the first shot is a spoiler, but the first shot is a hallway
Yeah.
sneak shot.
It's beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
it's like the Copacabana shot from Goodfellas, and just
Yeah.
And you can
lands on Sad Dinner, and you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
this is what we're doing.
and you can feel the maturity in it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like-
like it's very reflective. It's slower than a lot of his other movies. Oh god, I love it. I love it so much. It's great.
Like
So happy it's nominated.
It's the first time Scorsese has directed like an old director, which
Yeah.
is kind of like he finally brings out that age. He always directs like Hugo.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Wolf of Wall
Hugo.
Street feels like it was made by a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
He was doing Hugo when I think De Niro brought him the book.
Yeah.
Shutter Island.
Shutter
Yeah.
Island. He never feels old.
Yeah.
And which is what makes The Irishman hit so hard.
Yeah.
Also, the most memeable movie of 2019, shockingly.
Really?
Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
that or Uncut Gems. Those are the most memed movies of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
memeable movies of
Wala pa kasing
And,
screener yung Cleaners.
and De Niro, Pesci, and Pacino all with Scorsese for the first time, which it doesn't. It feels weird because it feels like they've done movies together before, but they haven't.
Yeah, it's Pacino first time, De Niro first time in 24 years.
Yeah,
Pesci
since
same.
Casino, yeah.
And Keitel also since like Taxi Driver, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like great, like the supporting cast is
Yeah,
awesome.
it's like Ray Romano, Anna Paquin, which is like featured in the dumbest film Twitter controversy of 2019, I think. Why doesn't
about
Anna
that.
Paquin have any
I saw that. I saw
Yeah.
that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then it's like when you actually watch the movie, I think Anna
It
Paquin
makes sense.
Like I wanted the
Oh, the-
Academy to nominate
yeah.
Anna Paquin.
The female,
just to show.
the female characters in The Irishman stand out a lot for me, which is rare for a Scorsese film.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the main criticism a lot of people have, and
Yeah.
they're the wives of the
Yeah.
main characters are so powerful.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And not just like Anna Paquin, the
Yeah,
daughter, the
exactly,
daughter,
yeah.
and it just shows like Scorsese can write women.
Yeah, exactly.
Like watch Alice.
But that's not what he. I'm like obviously I'll defend him because he's my favorite director of all time, and it's just like he grew up in that context,
Yeah,
so
that's
it
the-
won't show.
yeah,
Yeah, so
And like since I mentioned Uncut Gems,
yeah.
It's coming out on Netflix.
coming out on
Yes.
Netflix
Oh,
January
thank
31.
God.
I
The
won't-
same time Taylor Swift's documentary is coming out, so I'm watching Taylor
Oh,
Swift
that's
first.
big competition.
That's tough.
Big
For me.
reputation. Big reputation.
Yes.
But like,
I stand that
to make the case
reference.
for Uncut Gems, KG is best supporting. Kevin Garnett
Wow.
is best supporting actor
That
level
would
good.
have been so good.
That would have been hilarious.
Like I think
I mean, Kobe has an Oscar.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that Uncut Gems should have gotten like acting noms across the board. Like,
It wasn't nominated for anything.
Wasn't nominated for
which
anything.
is insane. Yeah.
like that's an amazingly directed film. It's like
Yeah.
a 2-hour heart attack. Like Julia Fox,
I've heard
one of the
that too,
great
yeah.
new discoveries, and Sandman. You know,
Sandman, yeah, and it's like one of his best roles.
maybe his best. Like
Yeah.
like maybe it's that or Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna bring up like his
Yeah.
like older stuff.
And
Maybe The
they're
Wedding Singer.
very
also.
the same. You know. And like Idina Menzel, just extremely not
Into the
Idina Menzel.
Isn't what do you call this? David Schwimmer also in it or something? Doesn't he sneak his way into? Oh no, I'm thinking of something else.
No, I don't think he's in there. But like
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Weeknd is in there somehow.
Just random.
It's
I
just-
love how we were in sync. Me and Emil were like,
It's just
I heard
like
the
the weirdest cast.
Yeah, and it works. And it's
It works.
A24.
You know, it works. Yeah. It's my favorite A24 release of the year.
Yeah,
Like I haven't seen like Under the Silver Lake or whatever.
yeah, or Waves also.
Waves.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever like find it. So
Yeah,
so
just
many to
fluid.
see.
Yeah, and there's also Little Women also by Greta Gerwig.
which I have
also.
not seen yet.
I don't. I'm not sure. I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
we're all
also.
gonna watch it in the next few days.
I haven't seen it, but I already love it.
The trailer's really fun. It's very like light. It comes off as a rom com. So I'm really
And everyone in it, and Greta.
And obviously, Saoirse
yeah.
Ronan has been killing it for the longest time. I've seen like almost every single movie she's in, and she's great in every single role. She's fantastic. Timothy Chalamet also great and everything. Florence Pugh, Emma Watson, and
Laura Dern.
Eliza Scanlon, Laura Dern, Meryl Streep,
Bob Odenkirk,
my
Chris
boy.
Cooper.
yeah, absolutely insane
It's
cast.
just-
Grabe.
Greta Gerwig somehow manages to handle it, even though she's still considered a relatively new director.
Like-
so props.
Greta Gerwig directed this movie. Yes, Greta Gerwig directed this movie.
Yes, you heard that.
What? Really?
Little Women
Oh
had a
my
director,
God.
yes. And like she
Jesus.
directed this movie essentially like she was pregnant, she was juggling so many different
It's
projects.
insane, yeah.
And like it's just I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen it, but like I'm already I treat it like a
I
fan.
know you love it.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
already,
like
you know.
okay, that's gonna be like the biggest plot twist like ever. If you're like, oh, it's okay. It's like what happened to you?
I also want to mention that the Hollywood Reporter did a roundtable recently with a few directors, and Greta Gerwig, Lulu Wang, Todd Phillips, Martin Scorsese,
No Baumbach was there.
Noah Baumbach, director of Two Popes. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce
Fernando
Fernando
Meirelles.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I also love Two Popes. I should mention
Yeah, and
that.
we should like last honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Two Popes as a Jesuit schoolboy.
Yeah,
I was
haven't
like,
seen
okay.
But like, you know.
I didn't expect myself to be so
Yeah, I didn't
moved
expect it
by
to be so
it.
funny. It's really,
And
it's really
the
funny.
pizza scene,
Yeah.
Aw.
so cute.
Football.
And
Anthony
like,
Hopkins still got it.
and we stand
Jonathan
Pope Francis.
Price. Jonathan Price, High
I've always
Sparrow,
known.
man.
I've always known that he's
Oscar
great.
nominee, Jonathan Price. First Oscar nomination.
Talaga?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was just great. Na parang, I mean, I guess it made me believe again. Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the.
In a sense, it
Yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah.
It's probably like the best quote unquote Christian movie that I've ever seen because it's like not really about Christianity.
Yeah. But in a sense, it is yung parang
I know,
the old
yeah.
versus the new.
Yeah, I do have like criticism of it, but it's from like not a movie like critic
Yeah.
standpoint at all, and that's that they portray Benedict pretty inaccurately, I would say, because I've read a lot of his encyclicals as well.
You know,
Because my
it's,
dad,
it's
yeah,
more
my-
pro Francis.
exactly. My
Yeah.
dad's
It really felt
we
like
had the
that,
Same,
yeah.
We had the same comments where we both loved the movie, but we just wish that Benedict didn't feel like the antagonist in the movie because he was
A little
a bad
bit, yeah,
Pope,
yeah.
Yeah, it did
yeah.
seem that way, the way they framed it.
Yeah, so that's it. But everything else, it's great. It's fun. So watch
Was the
that.
director a Jesuit schoolboy also? Joke.
No. The last
That
It's
joke
based
about
on a play,
Jesuits
it's
and
based on a
jokes.
play.
Yeah, the last big film that he did was a movie called City of God, which
Oh,
is
God.
very, very dark in comparison to this. So I'm surprised that I mean, obviously he did other stuff like in his home country of Brazil while he wasn't doing like mainstream Hollywood stuff. But that's why I bring up the roundtable because at one point they asked him like, how do you feel being outside the Hollywood system? They asked Lulu Wang how it feels like to be an Asian American director, and they asked Greta Gerwig how it is to be a female director. Todd Phillips struggles with the Joker and everything. So it's great, and you should watch it. It's an hour long, but I never got bored watching it.
Like there was my favorite part of it was when they asked Greta Gerwig what was cinema.
And she was like,
And she was like,
look at like
look at
ask
this
Scorsese.
here. And then she just proceeds to give like this great eloquent answer, and I'm like,
Yeah. So
I like you best.
yeah.
Okay, any last
Congrats.
things?
Honorable mention.
I'm just gonna say Child's Play. I enjoyed watching
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Child's Play is so underrated.
It is.
Like, it's so funny. Like it's legit a horror comedy. It's
Yeah.
really,
It
really
was,
funny.
and
Yep.
you
it's
know,
like the spiritual successor to Evil Dead 2.
Aubrey Plaza is also there as a
Oh, yeah.
mom.
Brian Tyree Henry.
And Mark Hamill is Chucky.
Is Chucky, yeah.
Yes, and
I mean,
he's great.
It deserved more love than
Yeah.
it
And
did.
no, it was really fun, and I don't think it deserves whatever score it has on Rotten Tomatoes. It's very low, but I thought it was great.
Don't. I'm like when movies like that I like. I'm like I just don't look it up.
I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm just gonna do like a quick run through of a bunch of action movies that I loved.
Go.
Using this list as a reference: John Wick 3, Shadow, Fury. Shadow's great. Fury's was the entry of Vietnam this year, and it's really really fun. Alita Battle Angel, which it was not like okay, fine, I get it. The story was like whatever, but it's fun. It's
I
really
enjoyed.
fun.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed watching it.
It's great.
May sequel pa kaya yun? The way they ended it.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think so.
There's an Ip Man spin-off that came out this year called Master Z, and it stars his rival in Ip Man 3. And it's
So para
really
siyang
fun
yung
also.
Karate Kid and what's the new show that came out?
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, exactly.
Ganon.
Basically. And it's the story because he also practices the same martial art as Ip Man does, and it's the story of how he grows to learn to use it as in a good way instead of a evil way. And Ip Man 4 is also coming out in 2021, so get hyped for that. Yeah, Gemini Man was also really fun.
I have yet
despite
to
it
see
being
that.
like very strange, like when you see young Will Smith, it's very weird. They don't do it as well as they do it in The Irishman. But yeah, there was a lot of fun action movies this year. So yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna list down a bunch of movies I like that did not get mentioned.
Go.
The Invisible Life of Eurydice Guzmão from Brazil. Ad Astra. Honestly,
Oh yeah, why did I forget about that?
Completely. Yeah.
like I'm not a fan of the narration, but everything else, like A Cut Without the Narration might be my favorite film of the year. Synonyms, which I felt I didn't know if it was perfect, but it was just the right kind of weird,
Yeah.
and like one of the best endings of the year. The Door, and then we danced.
Ooh, I
Call Me
forgot
by Your
that
Name,
too.
but dancing.
Call Me by Your
with the greatest like Robin
Yeah.
needle drop.
like when they needle drop, like damn, that's next
Like
level.
the people next to me in the cinema were like audibly started moving and going like, is that honey? Yeah.
And might be alone at this table. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Boo! Joke lang.
Just honestly a grower for
I
me.
really like half of that movie.
No, I
A lot of people do.
Same.
I haven't seen it, but just how I feel about Tarantino. I'm scared to watch it. That's why I haven't seen it yet. So I'm waiting, but we'll see.
Yeah. Transit, Pain and Glory.
Ooh, Pain and Glory. Sorry, Antonio Banderas. Love him.
Great performance. I saw it like last night. Amazing.
Awesome.
And I think that's it. I think.
And now I will go to Denny's letterbox to see all these. Emil, any last?
I'm just gonna read from the list. Ford v Ferrari,
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I still haven't seen it. Also.
the Shaun the Sheep sequel, Fight Me.
Also.
Oh, wow.
Extremely. It's like
Extremely your
100%.
brand.
It's like
Yeah,
perfect.
that's-
Really?
That's so me.
Extremely your
That's
brand.
very me. So I put it down.
Oh, we haven't talked about
A
us.
very
We kinda did.
You just mentioned it.
a very small Filipino movie called Akin ang Corona, which is like extra from 2013, but like
About
Yeah, I was
what?
about to say like.
it's about a guy who's sort of forced into. Parang they get him as a subject in a
Documentary?
Yeah, in like a documentary TV show, and they keep fabricating his story even if he wants to tell the truth. There's a very strange movie that came out one of the festivals called Vitalina Varela,
Oh, I wanted to see that.
which is maybe the slowest movie I've ever seen, which is not a value judgment.
Yes.
And it's mostly done in like tableaus
Wow.
against like a pitch black background
That-
and
yes,
like
eat your
really
heart out.
weird German expressionist production design. Anyway,
Pedro Costa.
Pedro Costa, yeah. Buoyancy, Extreme Job, the Korean fried chicken movie.
I'm just getting hungry.
Lighthouse, which was a grower for me, man. Like,
And it got nominated for cinematography.
Yeah.
which
That was the only pleasant surprise.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay.
Oh, Lighthouse, great. Hark.
That was a
Made it
thing
stop
for me.
Beanpole, Toy Story.
Oh my- I forgot
Toy
about
Story.
Beanpole was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the most painful miss of
It
the year.
was literally the most depressing movie I saw
It's
this
so
year. It was
sad.
so painful.
I didn't see it, but
Yeah.
I got to see Cleaners instead.
Yeah, good choice. Toy Story 4, which made me cry, and
It's
then
fun,
the Finnish BDSM movie Dogs Don't Wear Pants,
I wanted to see that
which is
also.
extremely disturbing, but I liked it.
Oh, just Pahabol.
Where is this listed down?
On my phone.
Can you send me the list?
I'm writing the article
Okay.
now.
Sige.
Pahabol lang because I'm not as high on it as a lot of people I know, but I don't think I'll forgive myself if I don't mention it. Hustler's good.
Oh!
J-Lo snub.
Yeah, J-Lo.
J-Lo snub.
Yeah,
Justice.
for J-Lo.
Oh my god.
Why did I forget to write that down?
I don't know. I feel like
Lizzo.
Wait, we've done that, right? We've done Hustlers, we've done The Farewell, just to make sure.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good.
No, we're just kidding, guys. But yeah, Hustlers. Just talk about it super quickly. I think the thing that I liked the most about it was that the J-Lo's the antagonist in the film, basically. I mean, like she eventually becomes the antagonist.
Yeah.
But at that point, when she becomes the antagonist, I'm still rooting for her.
Yeah, of
I'm still
course.
like literally like, no, please. And it's such a refreshing thing to have.
With a female lens on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Lorraine
such a refreshing
Scafaria.
feeling to have an antagonist that's 100% relatable. Thanos doesn't count. 100% relatable
Killmonger.
and 100% like real. She felt so real to me.
And I know that J-Lo gets like most of the attention, but I really love Constance Wu. in
Yeah,
that.
Constance
Like
Wu,
I think she's so good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that movie works if they're not in tandem.
Yeah.
I don't even think like it worked for me, but like when it works, it's because they work.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And also, if you're gonna watch one Scorsese pastiche this year, it's Hustlers.
Oh, that's oh god. Okay. I got really scared. Okay.
I also just want to give a shout out. It's not one of my favorite movies of the year. I'm real with myself, but I helped write a movie called Kezin's Game this year.
Yeah.
I have to mention it.
It's good.
And I loved making it. It was really fun. Matthew
Special
was the
shout out to
director.
episode 6, Kezin's Game.
Oh yeah, that's
Emil
right.
was
Oh
there.
yeah.
Shout out to the director Matthew Rosen and to JP Ovillero.
I waited for your name to appear on screen.
Yeah,
I was like, where's Dren?
Yeah, Simon was my writing partner, and Dean and Janice, who both eventually went on to write the screenplay. It was really fun. Yeah.
Sorry, it sounds like an acceptance speech.
Yeah. No, I just, yeah. I mean, I don't get to do this
clap.
often.
No, yeah, yay!
Hey, thank you.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for our best of 2019, which reached this length
Amazing.
of 2 hours. Usually we'd have a segment where we recommend stuff, but
That was all
that was
recommendation.
all
I
recommendations.
missed one thing. I'm sorry.
Go.
I missed one thing. I was lucky enough to be in New York for like one weekend, and I caught this wonderful little World War II / modern drama called Transit. It's basically Casablanca, but the setting is modern. But the plot is Casablanca. It's World War II, but it's modern.
Okay.
It's by the guy who did Phoenix, Christian Petzold. I don't know if
That's on my
Yeah.
list.
it's very similar in the sense of like how an individual can feel very small in a hashtag society, but also better
We
than
did-
Joker.
I was about to say we didn't talk about Joker at all. You know,
I mean, it has enough acclaim.
whatever.
It has
yeah.
enough attention.
Exactly.
And I was hoping
What's
whatever.
Joker?
Whatever.
Well,
Whatever, dude.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, we good.
That was
We could go
our
on for hours.
that was our 2019 best of 2019. Yeah, thank you for listening to this. We will now say goodbye. Just
We missed something. I'm gonna get mad.
It's okay. It's
yeah, but
okay.
whatever.
we have
Okay.
Comment on the video.
comment in our video section on Radyo Katipunan. Of course, we have our social media. That's at Popcorn with Cholo, at Popcorn W Cholo on IG, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you listen to us. Where all our episodes, we talked about a lot of things here. Have longer episodes about them specifically, like a lot of things. I won't mention them na kasi marami talaga. Of course, keep on listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you stream your podcasts. And message us. Feel free for your recommendations. Who would you like to see next? And yeah, thank you for listening to this extra long episode. Goodbye. Bye.
So about Darna.
Radyo